Omodian so betumi aka bi na be boa oye papa nyuma kue na eboa me na no pay ye de critical issue abremu na ene se me di kanka na ebedi nkomo na mo no ansa na no ya nwe bibiu kakra hwe se etese yana o manka na dum pempenso bi a ese etumi kasa kakra ese etumi kire ya adwene kakra ese etumi bisa nsem aka nsem bisa bi ese benya anu yi ana eba ne se ne abedu babi a yeduri ede no to sin wo babi ntia yedu babi a yewe anamon be na yentu ntia na yedu babi a yewe ananso sa anamon be na yetu yentia yedu babi a yewe ede ne yanye ntia yedu babi a yewe na ede ne ye ntia ama yedu babi a yewe eye se bi se etumi yi ano abusuya bi a ye opani oda no na so asem tumi koba do baby abusuya na mpanyifo na de esi ginae but asem bi tumi koba wo mo fra abusuafo nyina ma abusuya ni nyina kohia esanse asem na ba no afa abusuya ni nyina ho ntia wo behia se wo mo je abusuafo ni nyina adwenkyere do mo si ginae ade fa asem na asie no ho yemfa ne san kane anasika ni ho ye de amanfo kwa amanoni ye tade kokoo de si awa ye tade asase ne si awa agi sika edobusuani bi ekwa amanone na saji na sie no abusuan penin kwatumi ko gina wonka se asemasi anya scholarship okwa amanone timi abusuan penin medical ko abusuan kokoo ne kusi awa na ye de onipa nakọ dabi omo fra abusuafo ni nyina se asemasi mu nyina momra ebi abusuan no nipa be yensia na obako ba na nyesa ho kwan no so wotu kwan no ma fra abusuan no eye abusuan na awofo no ensia ni nyina ba se asemasi obentie asemasi ba enya ho kwan so be kwa amanone akosua de de bebe abusuan no na sisi we ye ni sika nti de ye ne den ya abusuan pani misusu se anka yemfa abusuan asase na ewo kurutia ho no emfa enkosi awa ne pesika kakra ne emfa ma asemasi ba no no fa nko no kona ye ya obefa ni nuanom so de akọ ekuna yeye a musika baba ne akọje asase enti abusuafo nyina bebobo ho no maka so okay yenye ne saa wo mo ye ne saa eya sumdwe kwanso eya abusuani nyina na si ginaye esasa asem na aba no afa abusuani nyina ho Ghana ya abusua enti edu babi a enya abusuan panyin kwa na si ginaye de ma abusua no abusuafo nyina na kabom esi ginaye abusuan panyin be fra abusuafo ne se mombra me yesi ginaye se na be betumi aboa abusuani nyina Ghana panyifo yi mo so nim defo bi wo ho mombra be bia aduro nie ye be ne sen wedi na dwenkyeraba ye keka kari nyina bomu a na eye abusua no na si ginaye Ghana abusua na si ginaye nanso ankwankoba ne saa na ekoye se nyansabo akwa obakofo petirimu na wo no ti gina obesie no ayo no nkwa na osi gina de ama abusua ko ni nyina abusua no bo na du ba bia yewi na woni biribi asi na mepese ya kaka ye ho kakra omen ya ha for some time nie mobaka bank sector clean up no wo se ne ye ho yira o ye no mo hu ni pe wu ye e banking clean up setup no ye ka wonyi ni nipa enya stroke gudan mu ye ka wonyi ni nipa ma brabo aye basa ye ka wonyi ni ema bi eye Uber drivers esane sa banking sector clean up ninti enne nipa binum kwa ho kirema na nya sanketwa amanfo ye ha wo bra ye gu banks no ena gya ye di ye tirimu a ena no ba besenko yesi ye Ghana card hwese ne amanfo wo se kire wo ye bo pay su huna mane as we speak Ghana card ebi nsan kan ebinum twa kwa da bia wo nsantumi kan nipa ye ha sa yesi ye changes your register sim card yesi ye register ye titi ye ha sa ena eno so atwiri baby na fi hwede aba se udwetire ubodwiremu a wahwere kakra de ato kakra se de be ya dachi bi se jiheya ubetumi de unsa benkum afa ho aboso no wasane ano na wotwe yi bibi kakra ade atwako baabi no sei sadwe sika botene no ade de keka ho no mfaso eso unya no ni nyina na aye bibia owi minim say do obi penisi endu baabi a eduro no na so bibi na yanye ni yie nti ne eduru ho ana bibi na ye ni bibi na ye nti ne eduru ho yasemisa esese wom ye de tumi ama omo no ye bisa omo sabusuan pani wo fie ne de busuan japade nyina ma wa ye hwe kwan so obehwe so na aso busuanfo no so na mom enkwade wo fie bi no ton kransi nkane kransi tupa ba ku 20 kransi tupa ba ku sempoa na kwada no ton kerezo koton 1 gallon no bu ni kakra onya 1 gallon sika no to nche ade be ka no ne de good penny box mu obi wo ho a otie kurase okopa mire otumire okonya mire ni bitu na oton ho a na odi kakra to penny box mu obi wo ho so okose sabese obi wo ho otonsuo o traffic mu obi kakra na penny box no nka yese mo so mo fa ne money box yan ntane ye fa ne penny box esa na sky de to ne penny ti penny box de to mu kakra se na be ya dachi bi abrewa bi owo fie so obi to aba na wakoyi praye no na waton no the scanner be to sa money box and say penny box no and a personal investment na no nisika na daba betu penny owo fie an wa your mind onum kantan nwene into tumi nwene kantan kakra woton a na no de gugo enti eno ewo ho se scan wo ho abusia penny si abusia se kan nyina na oha ba ho enti mi penny box na me koton bese me ko pe bese me ko pe mire me nam wira mu breye me ton kerosene adi penny box ka na gumu no abusia penny afamachi akọkọfa penny box na abia no eyi sika firi mu why adai den panes nkejo minisani demente you see you do baby edu a say domestic debt exchange program I see here I'm telling you say atete independent mu no sanka nipa nyina betu ababo ntem aka yetu ahwe omanim sana bo hwe manim TV so a anka ye amanfo ye amanfo ye mo hihye omo panya asam keto a esan say obi wo ho a de ode akoto ho no ode baba abesia no kakra obenya no ewo so no ebere beto nunro obi tua school fees hwe enkwada bi amaya ne mrante wa bi anya kwan so omoko universities ahodo a ena ye kasa wo musika bi na ehye baby investment bi o ma ye kakra obenya oso ndo akotua school fees no ene nkwada na kafie enti saa youth ni yesi ye ebo mo makọ manim no na ne de wo he ede pa na esi ananse ebinom sam amo kan se ye menhia nkrofo pa ye mamafo ho kyere wo mo ye ka o mo nhye na ye nya kontan ye beke bi o ma ya na ayase bisa se ye menipa ho kyere no ye menipa ni sika onyo hia nipa na menyo sikani na men control wo mo eye no ana ayase bisa ena me ma me kasa nware no ye wo ekuo ahodo a eboa ma man ko nanim aban bi aba wo hwe nipa wo nim di obeboa ma ne sika samatumi agina obetumi ebu o man no papa j ete ne de papa j ko euro bond ko jisika no mampan ojimpo a fine kufuo mampan da kufuo oji $750 million o mampan da mills onya ne baby ko 1 GB mampan mahama eje $3.75 billion awo euro bond mampan na nado eje 11 point something billion US dollars so from 2013 to 2023 ya woman no yaje over 15 billion US dollars says Canadian ye dia ye ye mampani ma se to nchan a ono anje bi nanso otumi mo ma sika inflation ye the best ene ye sika sam tutu ye ko yie pa no e de no ye ne sabre ni ti anema ko yie sa ade na mampani mas Him for na ka no ho eboa no ntia. E mo mani sikasem tumi gina yesa. E ba ne sa ne kofam. E me kwaje $3.75 billion 2013 up to 2016. And then from 2017 to 2022, yaje 11 point something billion US dollars. Sikano yade ne yade aye. E wa he? Ye sori ese wanim de for pa etumi boa ma sikasem tumi gina. Wo mo he? Nipa hu na mani o. Nipa hu chiri no. Nipa bre o. Investment ye nyina ye bi o. Ye ni botesi ye ni so tie kwesa investment no. Enti se me botesi mani so no. Mama na hye. O man di da so hoi asa. O se mama nkasa. How? Skani abedia. Skana be de ba ban bosia no. Aban de ye adwuma nti fa so aba so. Ama no. Na de na me de kakra se de mama yen pese de be mama. Mama yen kasa. The bisa question be say anye bia adwempo ne say let's impoverish the people so that we can control them. Aya say bisa. Ibe ya no akiri. Ye ko Cape Coast. Man penya be de akiri. His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Okansem bi ebubo ni pebidin economic management team. They are solid. They are brutal. I don't know your head or that no. As the head of the economic management team. And Okansa. Now, ye bebo video bi ama ma hwe. Video ni sia ebedwafo beba ama yatena se na ye di nkomo. Mama yentie da Dr. Bawumia eka o Cape Coast.
We thank the Almighty God for delivering this country to us as a party to govern, and also for delivering our economy from the throes of economic mismanagement. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP promised the nation that our government will transform the economy by ensuring that we replace incompetence with competence in the management of the economy. I must say, ladies and gentlemen, without any fear of contradiction, that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has indeed replaced incompetence with competence in the management of our economy. One man or one person cannot manage an economy. The president had to put together a team. And when I look at colleagues seated in discussion during cabinet meetings and other meetings with ministers, it is just humbling to see the galaxy of competent men and women that the president has assembled. Furthermore, when I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team. In fact, can anyone remember the NDC economic management team? I'm sure they themselves cannot remember who their economic management team was. Kukrudu, fellow Kukrudites, we were elected to fix the problems and I'm glad to report that we are fixing the problems and we are putting in place the policies that will drive the economic transformation of this country. It is very clear that the economy is beginning to respond to the policies of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Our masterful Asempa budget
Awia ya demo ase samotwen yen yakwa ba febra so se menabedwafo yedi enkomo na ansa na no na enura eye mpanyimfo bi awoda na enura eye pani bi awoda eye owura Kingsley Ameyaw Asante anase Kingsley Asante Ameyaw ono eye adwuma wo Ghana airport na me amegina manager Kennedy Osei Asante na se be ma no Tracy papa na enura eye na woda enti menu akuma me chan no 10 days enti menu akuma no enti menu akuma no pay me ma happy belated birthday wa unim dada said yet ne sa na tia nen yense sa no ye be ko ne sa yakopon hira wate on hira pa na said ya wo so unu apanyin mu no so ni musa me ko bi say ana branti wanyin pa o na me say manyin pa esanse me chiri batu ene wife wo kumase wife ko boya wife ya me chiri batu no tim nya sumo manyin pa enti we de madam amuma mi cheche abusuanfo bi na fe yenhwe ene Emmanuel Akwa Anyaso Otuom constituency second vice chairman of MPP ene wawuda nti obuhye nyina se enka nkyerɛw sɛ ɔma happy birthday Emmanuel Akwa Anyaso Otuom constituency second vice chairman of MPP happy birthday ena fenso no detective chief inspector retired Daniel Kingsford Nkrumah awosahwiwi oso anwam ene wawuda nti if you babema inspector Dennis Nkrumah or Ghana Police Service awutubreku oso womao happy birthday nti now we inspector and our retirement and now banso ye inspector or that's so ye acting or acting service mu onye pensioner to say wo mo akeka aka no no also ye man bi wa ma me nhia wo hu yo ene na Sheikh Rashid Idi we deputy central regional chief imam anope ya assalamu alaikum na de oso ochia wo no me mmoni din me introduce na ma boni din so do no ochia wo but for now they me na assalamu alaikum obra panini wo hu okay yati enti na eno no na anope so abusuafo mo kumase nyina mchecha mu nyina mo anodompre we ka interior mo ta from sample one more years interior no from upholstery but you can upholstery nti wo kumase swame mazin wo police station in Chester police station in Champe anope mawache sanso na Pa George na bra kwame panin ene busuafo na mo material junction nyina no anope yi mama mo ache na machia mu bebre na se me de kan ye no enen panyimfo a me no be hia edi nkomo me nifa so pe Tofik Adamu Mohammed oye political communication lecturer ewo UPSA wono ne bra panin no de nkrama no ameje fa ye no wono no temi nchen me bibia boko pa afisia paso afin commerce afia so afisa na hode wo ne yesa hia pa
amen
na investment no ye mwasi so madwen na nyama koyie and oze nana ojiamai udin yo and obi se me nka ga west aban krachi honorable nana ojiamai Clement Wilkinson and so ewufie ha maboni ye ampa
wa bobema di
na otiri kwa
fitidas
ya mo akwa abanso mo afisha pon wo dwuma pa wo ye ya bo abaso pa ana mi diem ya so mpa ye lawyer ni dua ya kwanta ana wofire enti nana boache tromo de se kronkron ana ewo me nche wo no anche wo kokodi ade ewudia ya nkwanta
Agya
yes sir
afisha pa
afin komati
afi me hu ye
me so say the whole of the year
ye check for a check
the whole of 2023
yan share ti afisha pa
enya kura bibi aboko
ya me na dum na so e
dumara kwa eni na say yeduru bunu mantam dia eni na ena no pay man of God sunyan man of God sunyan anopai me ma a very very good morning ono do yere muni aba ba ko pe anopai bi chia mu nyina ma mu nyina ache man of God anopai bi chia mu papa na sem di kan ne ye bedi nkomo na nsema wo do ba me nsa nan ene ye be kan wasem sikasem wom bisan say organized labor say we say woman ya 20% aban akatuan tumu no ohamu nchemu aduasa
30%.
30% Mr. 30% eno mo say tumi aka eno ye bedi hu enkomo na fe ya hwe pension fund domestic debt exchange program ye no womo a akwa ahujie mu pensioners sika ye de nsa akwa kan ani ye de kan po dada yes wa won kwa de senior don ko be say eyi nkwan ade mo won fa won sanka aso aban no betie anase ekosen ana fe individual bond holders ankwankwa yan mu ya ye kakra de ato ye to kakra no ye nso ye de ho nsam ye ka ne sei ni anu so ye bedi hu kobo pa sanse ayasem hia pa na o my God na me kan say me ahyase say o my your man a ye ka o my a wo mu bu ade pa wo mu ni so ade pa ye ka respect na Ghana fo yi bu ade papa na so niema bi asesa ama niema bi ekoso wo maabunu mu eye on Ghanaian no ewurura ye mu who dare you so pani bi kura betumi afre na di natem usurumpo de wanyi nchen wo say bia mfie bo be mfie no mfie nsiampo no oyo bra pani wo sister pani mutumi kasa na nim kura wodi nsem hunu wa bonte utumi bo wodi nsem hunu asam na mfa ne hu na mo hu se wo yens wodi nsem hunu bi abonte utumi twa woto bo achi ja nsem hunu na wodi no wodi suko fie a ono asam be ka kire ma me no se mi hu asem so yesi yasam bo aka discipline na so ene obi tumi fa fu no afa no yesra fi ena wo man pani na nado dan kwakufu ado o na ase galam se yenya atu o wa kra ho na wakasa poto ye diatem fi baby a papa je di natem na kuno di natem man pani kofu di natem man pani musi di natem man pani mahama di natem man pani na nado di natem enko si da ben ehifo na eye ye be hwet sasam ne di na no so ho enkomo pa and I say, you say milk. Say make mills was one.
Make
mills. You. The bro for no car or cry no. Uru asante bele to say. Mama kwa baby you.
Yeah.
Bro for no car na bro for no se pa. It is straight to business yenko na yeni nkomo. Mama yen chance mfamfiri owura land kojo Martin and afi Dr. Owusu Afriye Akutu Omar resign say no wo mani abrese MPP amayoku no wo betu franka e de ama party no se na be ya 2024 election no yeroma kokogina na yato abade ama omo na ebinum eka say voice a mampenda da mampani abede akire Dr. Baumia de boy no economic management team a solid economic management team na ono head no mampani abede chie head no impayfo mi no obo mudin omo kan ho bi owura alankojo Martin na Dr. Owusu Afriye Akutu wono so eka team na ede edu bebia ye edu ehu wo mo kuri asa prese yesan enyi wo mo na mo pre mampani di bre ensa medi yeso properly uhunu ni sei mam se sem fan fru so wo na e ba manyo se mu a wabin wo mu empayfo mi enu ye betu anka so bia ye ka manyo samu a wo ma ya manyo samu a do akire mampani mekai 2007 ura lankojo Martin em so na mampani na nado ene preye ha e say e ka de ankoya fa na e kan so onya na abre na fam yes afedi aduru ne so this is his time ni mrenie Dr. Owusu Afriye Akutu enso e kire say do say handle agri sector ama agri sector na tumi agina ene ni nimdie se de tie no ye de manwa e be yi sampanfo mi enu se do ntu seni aso a ene se omo aban mu e ka economic management team no ho na ye duru ba bia ye duru no ohunu ni sei ye hwe sema be ye ensia
Okay. Agya.
Yes, sir.
Me da se bebre there amam kwan there mambatna wo if platform kasido na mo so menkyerɛ madwen kakra ana inyimzi kakra mo wo amanyesem ozikan michia mpanyimfo a wɔtena studio a ɔyɛ nyankasa yɛn hard working MC na mo brother kra so ɔtena na warankasa so.
Thank you.
Na me sensu michia UTV nchia kese on fama yan tifo a won so wo fia waiting we dam fie no do. Now ozikan asema me pede meka wadam asemi ho de urban competition in politics it is it lays a lot of credence on democracy. Oma kabinam kebi amenya saman oyefe. I onye mfani de ahinsam ana ahinzi a yimpokor otnado ana watnado afebo. Oban kabinam kebi amenya sama oma kwanya zama obia manoso tum ochre na adwene. Nti onye muhu within NPP that calls itself as a Democrat. There yenya ibinum today Alan Kojo Tremanten na Dr. Akoto na Dr. Baumia na friend and Kennedy Japan Kwabena Japan
Joe
Gatti wonyina what's in there wopede once waprena wotu fraka wazema pattern. I mean it adds a lot of beauty to democracy. But going into the issue, only there, yebem pensum na ya share them candidates in one no hold a lot of grounds, for the politics. I mean for the election. Says yanadren ane na swear is to former. You to me hunde Honorable Alan Kojo Tremanten and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. I mean, they stand very tall when it comes to this competition. Now, when you also they are part of the economic management team, CCA Ghana Bibia ye kudurin yan economy wa pansam, cost of living wa kosur, workers are crying. Graduates are suffering and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is that there's all around the world, there has never been any government on encounter challenges. I think NDC for one time, they also had their own, challenges. Kasa oni dumso.
Okay.
Oma nyane economy people lost their jobs as a result of doom so companies had to fold up and so on and so forth. Now in the case of MPP Wana Berdo, their biggest challenge now has to do with cost of living and the falling of the CD. And somehow they be saying what is government doing to solve this problem. Actually, for a couple of weeks, there's some level of stabilization, of the city as compared to, previous months now, seeding na dollar and world to America. Now, say Alan Kojo Tremantina, a lot of people are saying that Alan Tremantin wabre were parting no more. And so some NPP members have created the impression there, there's that line of hereditary within the party. And so that say our party no more, you must follow the queue, for you to follow. But urban inyana sabi academics, research into politics and so on and so forth. Actually, over the years now, the political dynamics in the NPP, you know, it's not what people say. Because I'm saying that in reference to Kufuor time, Yazeba, Ekufuado, and so on and so forth. Nobody, Ekufuado did not win the presidential flag bearership on a silver platter. Then, our ancestor came 2007. Alan Kojoma Tremanten or contested Ekufuado.
Yes.
One kade because Ekufuado stood with Kufuor, into automatically, no, there were handover. Wazema Ekufuado. Alan Tremanten contested with Ekufuado to 2007 or contesting up to the time Ekufuado already in election. It is this second Ekufuado, the second time at all power. Nobody contested him. So politically, in the political history of NPP nature there, people have contested, people we think must, you know, follow, I mean, must take over from the next government. So on here, I think it's just a propaganda a lot of people are doing to condition the minds of people there. Because Alan Tremanten has been in the queue, he has to follow. I think it's just a propaganda. The statistics or the evidence on the ground does not support that kind of claim.
But 2007 the year. Would see someone come because abano mo 3 year no. Obi antumi anim kunim e man pen na nado. Ene Ura Lancha Martin. Obi antumi anim kunim e me kan say abesa koran second round. Yeah. Second round no. And ebi no susu say kwa e bia man pen na nado o so that time no ye contestant no. E bia no wakudi nkugo nam so ye asemasi wabre man pen abre nti wo mo ne Ura Lancha Martin kasai. Ama Tiasie bi yadwuma baby ema okay yenso ni sama mampeni na nadon continue wa famu adu baby nti no bre no wabre no ade na ye ma no nko sa 2007 asem na me de ye ehweso okay nti se edru mi so sa bre ya ade nti na me so edru mi so no said ye year bre bi abesen ko no then ye the same thing this time around
because in chama oye first time we contest you na wo ma stand or in the standard. So this time around, so one more will be some. They should allow people. Now one can someone use one discretion. When that happens, then we are following the tenets of democracy. You understand? We are following the tenets of democracy. So the system must be allowed to work. Now, in respect to one popularity, there's this study that I am doing in reference to the popularity between Alan Kojo Tremanten and Bawumia amongst new voters. New voters. Yeah, may sampler may take for the study, you know, university student level 100. 1 hour by level 100 at the university level. Most of them are now going to be new voters to see the popularity between Alan Kojo Tremanten and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, say preliminary findings are may make so far. Even though Bawumia as a vice president and a candidate, these new voters have their own doubt when it comes to, you know, being able to deliver promises that he has made and promises he is going to make. It is very, very difficult for students to believe or to have that kind of trust and confidence in him, even though that fact is there. But when it comes to popularity between Ono and Alan Kojo Tremanten, Bawumia appears to be more popular amongst these new voters than Alan Kojo Tremanten.
Watch women, say in Pennyfo Muni, a woman say a young woman in Echo. Yeah, a binum Cahodia. But Ura Lancha Martin and a Dr. Bawumia. Say, Ulushimuno, say a fair now, we win, no so far, no be away a druno. Oshia, one more is to say, Mampeni, Abedia Chiri, Dr. Bawumia. Say, Boa Washe, and the boy Beshe, so bet to me this so to be in this no. Ajumuna Yaka Crow.
That's right.
And as she said, Nipa and Niprophone no pass so they are.
That's right.
Amongst
new voters.
New voters, a woman named Dr. Bawumia, a challenge.
That's true.
I know a den actually, yes ye the sample for me enu kura ya e den na kire say e be kire dia ma wo mu when it comes to say okay say no ye for mu ba ko say wono na won kwa general election ni mu na nkasa okay what the member within the party na nkasa mansa ya ko general election within the party ni mu no sanity and I say we no independent people and I say depend your party for na no nkasa ye now within the party na nkasa no what we need to form who the same.
Okay, so first of all, my main issue them disclaimer. Mr. The state dinner Marian is amongst university student level 100 our new voters.
Okay.
So as some American is a representation of the findings or the study that I'm doing. Okay. Now I'm going to speak on another matter that has to do with the internal politics of the NPP, whether between Alan Kojo Chairman and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who stands tall. Well, I have not conducted any scientific study on that so far. But if you ask me as a voter and also a political animal, someone who has a lot of interest in politics and I do a lot of studies in politics, Metum Makede, yes, Bawumia still stands tall. He appears to be more popular amongst the delegates, you know, than Dr. Kojo, Alan Chiramantin, even though it's going to be a very tensed competition. It is not, you know, a all win for Bawumia to say that he's going to relax, especially now that Alan Kojo Chiramantin has resigned his post as, you know, finance minister. What it means in there, it gives Alan Chiramantin time to visit and interact more with the delegate than Bawumia, and it also allows him to make a lot of statements. Sometimes can even, you know, in a way, you know, can even attack the current government that he's no longer part of. He's now open to criticize or critique the government than before or a part of the government. Now I resigned from the government. Now he doesn't have any, you know, what do we call it, alliance with anyone. Now he has the space to talk, to interact, and so on and so forth. So Bawumia's team must stand tall and work very, very hard in order to ensure the kind of victory that they want. Yeah.
Okay. Me that's it. Now me bisa question we Ediafa Adiama honorable Wilkinson said, within your party, no, you have the men, and I'm paying for your boom astute politicians. You bet me, I say, Umuni Pekuma, Nipa Munua, Muhasa Mudaha Yekan, me per se, yes, center on Dr. Wusu Efriye Akuto, Nuni Oral and Chiramatin. Na yeshwe say other contestants no correct upon whom you like or my kaka hono within your party no so we do need to form na so share some penifo nyina yi o mum ti se on person mo ba be a prayer obi be ka say e bia gidie eni wo mu pe me Dr. Bawumia economic management wasama me anu ti amede eno ba mu no say what she said here, some penifo mienu Dr. Kuto any oral and chamati, they are part of the government. I also say, we play cabinet ministers, we play vital role, important role.
They are no longer part of the government.
They were, they were. Now we play that role. No, since we free, what new are they bringing? That's the question people are asking.
Jacob. Nanu pe yeda mase be chia ye tiefo ni yahwefo nyina e chia mabusua me chia me sofo Church of Pentecost ye Mr. Nyamiche me chia no pa na Apostle Kumilabi General Secretary. In fact question we no another other station obi bisa the same question na the yehu ni say Alan ne Owusu Akoto afi omunya tua omudus ema party no pepepe nti bebi omodu no omo nsa so se ompese omope dibia bo party no mo a akwanya eda ho enu ni edi a edi kan kura se yes ye twese obi a wo party mo a ne yɛsɛ woyɛ party mu no woyɛ wotua wo dues woyɛ obi biara ɔmo qualify ɛno yɛ number 1 number 2 a question now obisa is na ɔmo yɛ key stakeholders in the economic team sɛ yaba bɛtena ha yi yɛ nyanka yɛbu Ghana ɛna yɛ nipa 4 yi mimi yɛ wei wusu yɛ wei wusu yɛ wei ɛna yɛbu Ghana no a bɛdu mpɛmpɛnso bi yɛbɛdu hɔ no nkurɔfoɔ adwene ne sɛ ɛnɔma nkɔ yie ɛwɔ mu na yɛ ntɛm wɔ ha no mmiɛnsa asan afim ana mmienu afim sɛ ɛne yɛn nso yɛkɔ akɔ praise the same position no a ne yɛwɔ no sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a ebi yɛbɛtumi ayɛ nɔɔma bi foforɔ na ɛgya kɔpɛ ade baako a ɛwɔ politics mu ne sɛ ɛte sɛ yɛyɛ yɛ budget no ɔhu sɛ every year biara woyɛ wɔ budget wie a ɛdu baabi a ɔbɛ review budget maybe after 3 months 6 months there no sɛ wohwɛ na sɛ nɔɔma bi a wokaa so wobɛyɛ no wopɛ sɛ anka wodi nɔɔma bi hyehyɛ mu na woyi nɔɔma bi film na woyɛ wɔ budget no woanyɛ a wotumi review budget ma no yɛ yie nti mpanimfoɔ yɛ baabi a na ɔmote ɛne baabi a ɔmoba sɛsi a no they are reviewing themselves say where we are no now we are moving from one point to another point nti ɛno deɛ yɛntumi nka sɛ saa nkurɔfoɔ yi a na ɔmbɛtena hɔ a ɛnɔɔma bi kɔɔ sei nti ɔmo ba bɛyɛ ne sei me nua panyin kasa no ɔka sɛ end this time ɔmo face challenge bi ɛyɛ dum so ɛnɛ ayɛ nnwom toɔ baabi a yɛwɔ biara no woka dum so a obiara no baabi yɛwɔ ɛna yɛte hɔ yi ɛnɔɔma bi nso asisi sɛ economy no ɛnyɛ stable ɛhihihim te sɛ wofi ɛkɔ Kumasi na wote VIP mu na du baabi na kaa no ɛbobɔbobɔ ne mu sɛnea tie bi ɛbɛfim ɔbɛnya smooth road na ɛsi smooth road no so a ɛbɛkɔ ɛne na me nua panyin ka no sisi a yɛwɔ hɔ wotumi sɛ cedi ne dollar no ɔma yɔnkofa no ɛyɛ ayɛ kama ɛsɛ ɔmo to nsa didi ɛma nɔɔma bibi akɔ so kama
sure
ɔmo to nsa didi ɛno akora me hu sɛ ɔma si table ɔmo didi kakra na ne nyinaa mu no ɛyɛ amamuo deɛ saa nɔɔma ne nyinaa tumi sisi ɛno nti ɛna yɛ nyinaa yɛsɛ yɛsua adeɛ sɛ in politics no sɛ obi baabi a obi gyina no sɛ woka ho asɛm a na wahwɛ no yie sisi a afi akoto ne alankyamaten ɔmo bɛpere baako pɛ ɛna bɛdi nkonim sisi ɛm sɛ ɔmo bi 6 ana 5 ɔmo yɛ 6
Dr. Free Akoto wɔn a ɛyi wɔn anim no
ɔmo a ɛyi wɔn anim no
Dr. Free Wusu Free Akoto Ura Lankojo Shermatin Kwabena Japan Kennedy Japan Honorable Joe Gatti
ɛna the vice president
ɔno officially no officially
but ɛyɛ dɛn a ɔbɛba
ɔbɛkɔ
ɛyɛ dɛn nti this best 6 for now
ɛbɛkɔ nti sɛ ne bi a na ɛbɛyɛ special voting kura ansa na ɔma san aba abɛgyina because ɔmo bro 5 a ɛyɛ sɛ yɛto na yɛnya 5 nti 5 no na ɛbɛ contest oh yes nti sɛ ɔmo yɛ 6 a sisi a meka sɛ baako bɛfirim nti
na special voting and the delegates na ɛbɛto
ɛno no yɛ MPs ɛna party hierarchy no mpanimfoɔ bi ɔmo wɔ no ɔmo na ɔmo to saa aba no yɛn pɛ sɛ ɛbɛtumi akɔyɛ n'ano ngɔndeɛ no
18 deɛ ni bi no
bàtà wàtí ase nti sɛ yɛde mmira totototo hɔ a sɛ mi kura mi ka sɛ mi kɔ bia ebi a mi a mi ti ebi a mi tenten yɛde bɛ ma mi bàtà ebi a na enum so wàtí ase nti obi bɛtumi de ne tenten awini within the 6 no mu obi nso bɛtumi de ne tietia awini obi nso bɛtumi de n'ahoɔfɛ awini it depends na ɔmo wie no a n'afɛ 5 n'ankasa no ɛba abɛkɔ ɔkɔ n'anim ankasa nti deɛ ɔmo yɛ nyinaa no ɛkyɛ bibi sɛ ɔmo ni gye ho sɛ ɔmo bɛdi Ghana anim na ɔde akɔdu baabi na me boss na ɔkasa no ɔsɛ obi stani tɔ adeɛ baako obi sɛ me nana na ɔno ɔte tɔtɔtɔ no a one day na obi sɛ me sɛ na saa tɔtɔ no a yɛka no nipa tenten deɛ sɛ ɛno no yɛhyɛ damfa ɛnyɛ biribi asa ama ne nyɛ yie o nti tɛm biara no na ɔma yɛhu sɛ ebi a nipa bi yɛ tenten a na kyerɛ sɛ ɔno no wɔ anuonyam sɛn ɔmo ɔmaka but wo translate nso a saa na ɛteɛ because sɛ yɛka sɛ obi standi tall no sɛ mo wɔ classroom na mo ayɛ exams na obi di first no yɛsɛ ɔstandi tall ɔte aseɛ nti saa na ɛteɛ nti ɔko na yɛkɔ no ɔmo nyinaa qualify ɔmo nyinaa bɛba deɛ yɛn yɛ sɛ sisi a asɛ party ne sɛ obi nkokosa ntie obi because we yes say onipa ne bedi wani mu kan na ekoba ni say ono ebedi oman n'anim say president a n'anim kono na ehu kakra eni ntu behwe no edu ba bi na ala say meni omampani yemampani o tisu sisi ya no obi anya 51 50 plus 1 no enti ala say ne sade ya odi amigemu wonko because omusa akoto a de beba ni say enipa ni nyina because at that time no nanado enya 10 alan
that's right
enipa ni nyina eni wo nanado site into ojemu boko emomoko we are our wish eni ye we ni say anka de omba bekoyi bibi say esi a omo nsa nsu ade mfi ekire na ye ngina ba bi egina no a esan say party no eso sen obi a but say wo party no ye say bi a me hu hia esen obi a na no egina secretary kasai say your constituencies bi ni bi o ma hyase and then say we contest and then say we say and then say we say and then say we say party no mo say any sa na your general election a edin sembe breba say mo free say mo mpese obi be contest wo constituency bi a animu ya no mo hyase no ma ye hu adwuma
that's right
but ye ntwen ma nipa no nkoboka because they say go for hyase yesusu o susu na ye ni bi na haircut ni bond ni aba be so mu kakai nti se nipa nikura akwa yi ni sika na onu so di ba be sort ni wa ata yesi ye politics a ebia yesi enja bribe ma enja bribe obi abetia wo fie oko no ka se oje we fafa ka bribe na enja bribe nti se ne tie bia no de ebesi ebeja nkofo kwan ne eja nkofo kwan a nkofo no so omani beji nti alan any owusu afiri no mo keka hu a mo beba nyina no de me pe as a party member me so metua me dues me so me we ni say kasade omo hia omo nkasa na mo kasa omo afi aban no yes omo afi but omo afi mu ye so mo hwa last week ya alan the generation ne ba ye no okodi dwuma bi okumase ya aban dwuma no but what you say it still no mumfi mu ye enti sese na wo dan wom ese wo hwa afi yakoto farmers ni na say ye manenko adenti omoni no na aye dwuma alan traders gutafo ani wenu so ba out say adwuma pa omoni na aye adenti na wo je omo wo sese ya nti anka be yanka oni di anka won tenase because emre bia ni your constitution mu say so person contest here resign
yeah
but what you say but sin de be ya enko ye conflict of interest enu nti no nipa no e be pese odi nani ba ko be hwe to ba ko tuam na otimi akoto tin na de bia wo ye bia no enko yes obi kura be ka so contract we a okosan ye no opeska bi dia ye campaign tin okosan sa contract no nti ani de ma mentwe me ho obi ni mu so wa chedodo anka da anka yeso mo yesa ebinom so anka yeso mo twen kakra nanka ye ya ba bimben a anso no ma step down but obia woni hihye obia wo se ne opeso otutu no normal fa nti omo ntutu ye ne de omo ye bia no to me ne de menim say en hadwin isan say ye wo management team wo adwuma bia mu a e wo mu a obi ye managing director se managing director no e be call off anase bia managing director ne bibinti Second commercial bank it means managing director ne bia wakoye board chairman but what you say it means we ni na ye internal arrangement ye first no obi na eche and then no ye wie ni emfa ni say Baumia abeye president enyo no wo che biom but what you say ye wie Ghana ha no e bia minim afa ni ye ba benya economist ya or president and now because you were lawyers or my president when you say Kufuor a lawyer Nanado a lawyer
Mills
or no economist eti Alan enso ye lawyer or a trade minister or no a business person afi yakoto enso fi say odu aduane am aduane aba am no atimi faka eko fe aduane fi akra se ba e plus e mo no angasa nso enti se odi president kura no a emfa no so betimi akofa aduane aba ko na yenya bi atom nti obia wo bibia odwena so a wotie omo aid no a na omo kan masem no a obia wo bibia odwena so a opese odi ka asem no obi de Alan de se wo se o Alan se me nua pani Agya Kwabena kan ye Agya Kwabena na mahu se sa na o champion be 10 years
apa say chama ko pension na ranti
oh Alan ni 8 ni kasa omo ka asem no ma ni yede sa wuti ho na wuti a anka ka wonko ade anka mo bi an contest but what is here it no obia wo se ne wo ye ne die Kobe Japan yente nka but ngofo timi Kennedy ono se ni aid no omo Kennedy omo say apart from say you suspending no na doko campaign ordinate nso government yi say obi ka say wonya hwe a say ye ma ministry appointment ya just be a wonya hwe but obi o da board so obi o ba bi ote no bibi kakra ekoma no nti ye cha obi atimi nya bi appointees nko am ye sure say be 5000 the same appointees no dodo no abetimi akasa mo say ye nya hwe because of needing and now so yes minister ntino otimi ka say bi amenya hwe omo so ayi Kwabena Japan nko for ono so okasa utimi se nkranhye bi wom oba ayi mia me wofa ken Japan nko for kasa ebe ye de omo so na obi a woni president die otimi cheska ukọ na officer otimi mo bibi otimi ko che mo bag 9,000 bucks in odi president die a eni obecha manabro so onso obi a wose na waka ne die the same nso bi na me so me ka say da chinyame am do na be di president ya and the public breakfast obi anso benya no kwa eno so ya me policy what you say nti sa no mo we nyina no ye kan ejina bibi so ene ye di ka nti media me hu ni say emme hardwin say the same people no mote EMT ni so ena omo wusa ha babio nti e be the same thing omo mpeni na Dubai ta ma obeba no na covid ni sa no me nyina no enam se ye hu echichi ade nti ye jatu baby ye nim se yade bi beba ah say yade no ebe man crofo atena fi omo nko chan na be mfie miensa eni mfie nan na last week ina China for bi yo se kura Ghana kura no omo di mebia omo ya bi say mo bi anko China se even though omo bie omo borders no
yare na sama
so yes mo bi anko nkofo anko China nkofo anko kwan so ankoto no mo amba ye wie no ye Spanish ka eye no ma bibiri omo say World Bank ebe yeska kakra de be ye adwuma e wo man num
scan ye kakra scan doors
yes $2 billion
up till now muntumi accounting for man
we account for
muntumi
who say
no than that
ayi miscellaneous ni sa no ma no wo ho nti sa no ma no be piepie mu a ngofo nhyeda hu accounting ni yi
nkasta me fan say amount 2 billion say fire ade na out of 2 billion utme you see me fan say 50% or 25% on miscellaneous which is largely consumption just one is can what GD that's why Ghanaians are saying say MPPs can World Bank the bremo to fight COVID no wa hemu didi mu
e woni ebedu ho se ala ni o se fi ye ni we ma sam ni eka ndi ebedu ha me chemu yie pa no bi ehun baby aska ni because ye
maybe a chair the ma party for ni na ye ni
there be oh na say
COVID mu mo ma
ye ma ediane ye ma ediane o
sika
me nko ame ho ediane am chair ye no so lucky me metimi edi me ho adanse say me chair ediane no enye MPP for masala na me di ma omo but what you say
obi anya bi
me wo 17 electoral areas asam members omo ho no even though ya na yen kase politically they belongs to a certain party but whether you like it or not uko ye krom baby a ofi ya asam members ho nyina odi wani to a oni baby obi a etu afi
that's true
eduane na ye kire ye no se wo hwe train na ekọ ye no omo ye di mo omo ene omo mu di bi a edemu pepepe it is free education ya ye koyi yenti mi kase MPP fo nko na ekọ ana NDC fo nko ana CPP fo nko but efi ya kotoni Alan eni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ena honorable Kennedy Japan ena omo a mpanimfo aka omo din Badogate no mu ni obi a omo ba bia no to me ni de eye aban sisaye that is why we say we are breaking the 8 ni asay eni de atiti bia no Kwame Nkrumah can say be say forward ever backwards never edu baby eye edu baby nso a emfa but that is here baby eye pa ni baby eye dui baby a ya ban ni ye kosisi no they say the forward ever, backwards never. But baby I nyanso ebi ni say they say be a fool. I because say forward ever. Fool any dey forward ever. Enye ye should be backwards ever.
Okay.
Let us say yanko friend nso. Nte Jacob na ye ni kaka nyina no. Eye aban mu ntutu ye. Na NDC MPP dey then say obi a ba besom 8 years. Eye physically. Was in the level 100 for no. Some of them are new voters. Even though omutifie na no ne ekoto aba. Omutiri ekoso but paper no so odi ni saba team so no. Wanya bi. Nti afi no nso odi ni saba akọ atim so. Na no me ko lego na me ye bi ho na me ni omo ba freshers ni bi. Ka asem. Obi gina wa no ka. Ebi ni so kama ni ye de say omo ba no free education. Enya di omo ba because na nka no on Jimmy Maligon ha.
That's true.
It is uncle for no so no. Even though economy no fuel ekoso na dollar no ebu nipa. No anopa wi anumre. They say tot no. Sa nipa no ono no all school no fresh na onim say bibi nti e na oba bedu ho no because o the age na over 25 years old. And we wie first degree. But nyame aya na adum binti ene afi na oba level 100 into onu onim baby a ogina sankofu nyina obi a wona dwen ya etia sisi yi si e kase ento abama eja koplan sisi a onjo bi beto ase obi beto ase so se detie into bi a wona dwen odi ye baby into so mo ye freshers afi no mo beto aba youth na eba no dodo no ahu ni se na wona wa bi ye adwuma na no mi nam kwa na mi fa boy bi na me di mi phone na to GPS na me call baby otika no ma asmo kan ni eh honorable sisi de enoma ye kama pa o Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wa ya de at that moment we to bank beto akoyin on se na adwen mu because when you say GPS no e no bi atwam no na nke ni ho but ene aba nti ye besusu no ma nyina o de mto bo ase NDC eko 8 years MPP akọ 6 years 8 years ni bedu no yɛmfa yi nyinaa to senior so
Ni
yɛnhwɛ
okay
deɛ wayɛ adeɛ no yɛnto ano so
okay
na NDC for say they are coming back MPP for nso say they are breaking the 8 nti coming back and breaking who is who
okay
no yɛbɛhwɛ to n'akyi
me that say honorable udinu
Nana Ojiaman
me
Clement Wilkinson
Nana Ojiaman Wilkinson that's it papa
DC
me that say
what if people so MC get away to Accra Amasaman how near get away to Accra because I fi ye krom na oba that's one Amasaman na no from kwan just I want to ewiem mpo no
obefa Amasaman
obefa baby answer no me that say ya sompa what the yen hwe
I was with the sompa na me so me the ne Ojiaman correct
ya de dem hwe that to no
me so me the hwe na to no
you ya sampa info mi no ebinim say o ma twen a ebinim say o ma resign very late am resign obi say beneficent crack can say real Martin where resignation is long overdue so resign that because da ben put am buy mo buy mo be nomination no but I'm say ending of this month and I say
oh no ending of this month na omudi timetable ni baba
oh okay enti omo chese pay for me ni ala na chedo do long overdue na ke so resign that na otumi ye but watena ho a any the such na watchere so on che no eno eba mu
okay Agya me da say Agya the medical can say mpanyifo matie mpanyifo ne kasa ne din in answering your question directly no I think say ye nyina ya tete their intention to run long before today nti omo na omo kasa omo resign no well the view say oman adwuma ye as ministers no were being conflicted with their personal interest nti sebi ope president asenya obey oniema nko in the context and now we a minister who's the state interest edi wenim kan so a the obey nko so omo anom susu say nko omo resign that no out of the opinion say Nyama bebre or what they were doing in pursuit of their personal political interest rather than being a minister of state. Jomo resigned there na senior Minyanika, no, ABA, they would even critique the government. And we had Yera Alan Shamantin, Dana resign in his great transformational, his GTP agenda. I listened to him very carefully. And Utiena, some of the things he's saying, you're wondering, Papa, Cecilia all resign, and it appears that these things are prevalent in your government. So, and you're a cabinet minister. But the freedom to say these things is because we're resigning. And now it's not in as much as the party who he know, he's fighting for his political interest. And those things sometimes are on minor juma as a minister, bra. That is to answer your question directly. But me want some for kumabi amachewaha. I think that the Dika I was here and saying, Yenuanum Yanaka, Nipadodo, pray impenini no, enye bone. Inti Yenina ejitum say, Obia sebi odinim ewo party bia mukase, mepemum peninia. I was here in Brazil. On that note, Penifo are which are all deserving, are more running for the leadership of MPP. No, we wish them well. Ne catch on we say may the best man win. Ne bonfire say it's important. Say party na afa numi nuna. San say to aba on partisan lines is important. Say the parties present the strongest front. Inti omubeyi penya sebi obema the national election no are more competitive. In the interest of Ghana, Benya, Nipa, Odi Enima, Yenina Ejitum say we di Ghana Enima, Inti, it's all of our interest, MPP, or more internal politics, no, would bring a person who is the best man from the competing people. And the Omudinibejina, the national election, gives Ghana a better chance of electing a president who will serve the best interest of Ghana. On that note, I wish all the people well. But answer na meba, I was reading a study which suggests that they intend a nipa to Obama person A or person B, which was a very interesting study. So basically, in penny 4-5 no, one thing I want to emphasize, and they say, in as much as you betie policies, you betie in some mokano. The study seems to suggest that there is something they call a voting emotion.
That's true.
Into uti obidia, who was in the house fili. Sebi says era Kennedy Japan. There's an element of surprise. But there is surprise is a voting emotion that has an implication on voters' decision. There is something they call anger. Uti obidia as a ubu yefu. 2 penny 4 5 na 6 na ye bo bidia ase abufo ya bam ye bo bidia
na wakuma nso atowe
inti I think that what would be more important they say yenuanom yeranom insiani nyina no the most important question is me or me voting emotion me ti omudia minim se na mesifili yenuanom a wa ha nyina obia nim se ne osi efili fa the name no but yenyina ye nto aba wa MPP because mini member menya MPP ni mini apanyi beto aba but the point is as people listen ni MPP for ekoto aba no one thing they must pay attention to ne say the omubeyi ni bia no it must be in the interest of the party. Party non kabomu diobetimi abua party nano diobetimi all the other people who may disagree vehemently with them will come together afterwards with the interest of presenting common front and I say party ayen ewon kabomu a ewo sianhunu ene enisuade hunu omani nyina betimi abua no ewo nachi. I think that the history of Era Alan Shamantin is clear, and many people have said it. We've heard of him in politics since 2007. Alan Shamantin Aepe. That was a very popular song. So in terms of popularity, he was very, very popular during the days. But on the era, Akufo-Addo, Eko Jina, and Senya Oka, Otosum Mienu, and then he conceded. So many people in the party tradition think that it may be his time because, but Senya, I think Yera Kennedy Japan say be party akonya no enyo obi afia akonya. No aka say oh dear. It's competitive, it's democratic. Inti the traditions that I do no so no is being challenged strongly by Yera Baumia because now he's the vice president.
Yes.
And we've seen him almost jump to the second in terms of leadership in the party from maybe not in the hierarchy of the party, maybe no Nyandruho, but now he's a second in leadership. I think what it will comes to is say MPP, whoever they decide to vote for, the most important thing that would play a factor in the election is say the economy of Ghana from now till maybe 2024. Because of the economic context, no, about very, very different from 2024.
Okay.
And I think that if indeed the intention is to break the ATA, whatever they do, all of them must come together in fixing this economy. If any one of them would have a more likely chance of winning, the economy must be fixed. With all of them agreeing that yes, but me wene na say me be lose national na, then what is the point? Maybe for the future.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
I think that they all must be very, 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 very keen in solving the issues now, because their candidature and also more likelihood to win against NDC in 2024 no depends on whether I say or mine no be yes say or na any yes say. I think that said the state of the economy now is not too good, and I think it's in crisis. Or my Penyaka finance minister we are in crisis, and the moment we understand the crisis season, solving the national crisis at the partisanship. You be or party anymore, but against the opponent, no, it may not stand well with them. Inti, say na what will play a key factor? How all of them are able to make people have a certain emotion, and I say, I think kabia form say what are the emotions it evolves because nobody intintima
Okay.
But and focusing on solving the problems of Ghana now is more important for each one of them's political career. Inti Eja the American no.
Okay.
But Mecca Manesi say I think Zafia delegate delegates there. What about what baby happen na one more any other because you bet me about your so pa
No so baby I say.
and so one here na me new crowd
Yeah, you are sure.
inti delegates no we really hope because mo na mo be penny ama MPP we hope say Sebi you won't yesikasem enye mo amubotom and I said those things endi manim kind but we hope that they would really consider first the interest of Ghana and the interest of their party and the likelihood of the party winning in 2024, and they will elect the best man for their party. So we wish the MPP well in the context.
But 2 seconds.
Okay, 2 seconds.
To me, other topics.
You see, election depends on delegates. Now, say a share trend na Ghana and politics. A share trend na monetization of our politics and plays a very key role. Honorable or Kassan or Kade say a pedestal for MP Nessa will be chiawa or they in your transport to be as a moment. That is the name normally. Politicians who want to hide away from monetizing and democracy. That's what they say. And because of the nature of your customs and traditions as Africans and Ghanaians, and we hide behind some of these things and then monetize our politics. Over the years, both NDC and NPP are very victims when urban vote buying. Lot of researchers have proven that. Yes, but you see, it also raises a lot of question about Nyan institutions like IOCO, like Special Prosecutor Officer Watui, and many other anti-corruption institutions we have in this country. What are they doing?
Yes, Mr. Pa.
I think that Yoko is prosecuting Ashanti region that was grabbing
DC, you know. Now, one more so I to a very year about Kwabena, yes, chairmanship position, or can so to you also to you say 1,000 Ghana cedis per delegate. Or no one or two the loot you campaign, says I know you don't say any day. Or not that you say something need to be done.
I know there are many they are doing,
but that's it.
But the Jacome, yes, as my year can you oh, I did we should not be, I'm sorry to use the word to say we are trying to be hypocrites in certain ways. Bibi no sebi previous. Ukwa himfi kura no a. Ese himfi de ma hokwa. But what you say? Ukwa America. You beto aba. 3 months to election no. Ni amakwense nkofo for mo posters no mo normal. And di ho. Omo de omo ye ne say onipa no a ebia one person be P straight akoma Bible no. O say ebia state way. Baby a ton fruit to be a discount 1%. But what you say? Or to me, or no, it say none here, it say dropping. MP or we, ever be Christmas. Because no afa bus. Say, obi or person or run the town be no full bus now. Unti actually. A form of.
Oh no, excuse me. He did not do that in the course of an election.
Oh, I can't say course of election.
He's an MP. He's an MP, and he wants to bring social relief to his people, and he thinks around Christmas and it's a time to show love because that's the essence of Christmas.
I love that.
That's the essence of
the
Christmas.
Person who contested.
But what we are talking about
no, the person who
now,
contested.
As some are the politician. That's how
the person who contested. The person who contested at that moment.
Yeah.
Or person, or the leaks be man for no, or move far car. If you baby a buy it, leaks be. It is because me. You see, me. Just a mean kase. Yes, a boy. A boy say, and then you one piece be a cow boy and son of call parliament.
Exactly.
Want to mean GI.
But should not better
be so. And that's the point I'm making.
Because
but must it be so?
Okay.
And that is wrong.
Say,
you see, voting.
Say, a bit more here, and I am what a corruption. Mitias Nana, Wadaroma. I hear somebody I can hear. And then I hear crowd kwakutia. I hear.
Do baby cry. Baby answer.
As I say, we are Mrano, who from Mraquano so, and Mraquano and say, Konoko who penny be. Penny now, call if you are much in Ocochiano. But what you say, Uchiano, no, your penny, didn't know Ocochiano. Ocochiano say, oh, Yamiadum, Aconyana Beto, a Fiaconia. Ye me nsa ne yeko nti me nso sempanifo anka gidie mu mu susu me bi na musu mu fa ma me u pia openi no ntimi nka nche ne se maba na nanim na mr sampan nti ade no eye from the ye na namonoma konfo no a omo akomu from tititititi no ebepim sa me akonfo no mo twa mo hu frede wana ekọ ye di aponchi eni sidie eni noma bi na omo de akogu ho ye di amano enne ukosofo fia enuka bible kan wo si
yamanya me say nim sabai
yes enne nyame fie zo ukọ a fa dia ne kọ ye yi tight e di twadua ne e di kọ aso fie e ma sofo penifo enya bi di ye yi sika e ma politicians omo to aba se ne be omo so be to aba na omo timi akofie asundue mo betimi anya ka afo akofie nti ade no eye but ebi ni mo ye mana ade no
okay
examples now no Agya, we have to be very careful no Agya, just 1 second we have to be very careful about them examples now and when in the case of young politicians the state takes care of them Ewa, omanen yabo won ho kaw. Sabi honorable. Honorable Sabi. Honorable studio. Me hunu no ze V8 no ze bai. Oman no ze man. We don't expect there. He has to in quote or bribe and then omonko fusika. It's a civic responsibility.
1 minute. The American say I think say yatana studio aka political financing hope. Ya hwe ya sebi omo wo de but nimdie wo form no ebe hijack and a criminal gang and I say people I think CDD actually made a statement to say our politics is being hijacked by people who have money. Inti enye se bi de o nimdie and de obetimi aye o man ye but the osika the hijacking of our political system is the biggest problem because why here na obi be kwa cocaine now omani nyina no or this kind of finance president be and then omani no state capture because of osika those are the real problems inti me meka say oh yeah delegate na so obi ma osika it is against the law. There's nothing to hide about it. Whether it's the culture or otherwise, the laws of Ghana is against bribery and corruption. But it's a mercy who quality. Oh yeah, no one will say Otumra. So Otumra so dia not just a yentimi nyo penyi ube bomra ho ban.
That's right.
So I think yes, there is a very cultural dimension to the conversations of bribery and corruption. But I was say yehunu ni say delegate. So be mauska setomana na sika no de ma no oba also tenisika because susu na why no bosia na okoboy no I was onya ho mfaso and oba corruption na wo become say or you corrupt no sika na de brown and one no bekọ akote in public service.
Okay. What dey ye bepa bre na kasasam no say ye disika eto aba no ye behwe na ye disasam no nkomo pa make how say enanope critical issue a wo hwie no this way chocolate drink and a special sinsuo special drink the best point service loans best assurance you too nchine need fufu wo mo and afa ni nyina ho ka ye de ebrew na anope aseba ko be kan wasam ye nkwada yi a say prince anka sa video no bra no mu didi mampeni atam no wo ho a anka itumi yi a anka ye pa omai yabakosam ekite se omai Ghana ye nipa ye buade pa afare ade pa sem di kankan no ukwama no ne den type emre bia eni akire kura na so hia ebibifo be ye oha e wo ba bia Ghana ni wo ma hunu se onkasa emiena no na so ne ye ekire se oye Ghana ni esanse ye buade di mra so pa na so ne me bia sesa kan man pani JJ Rollins mafo di natam Daviba onye Ghana ni etu be kura si onu moja
Gove.
It's sembasa.
Gariam.
And of Western Coy.
Ofili Gariam.
And Mapeni Dada Jiku for by. Ye did not tell a cancer bebre, a pinum crackers, some fraction penny, Mr. Moa, Sir Ulubia, of her mappa. It's somewhere yai. Mampeni must do no so. A pinum did not tell Moama, Sabi, in penny phobia to be kind, Sabi, in penny manim. When you say I can't see the city, I said, you be be a film be a baby drew. Say, Sabi, the Natasha Makofa and my baby, and Ama when ya Binimuyari be. You can't have a Mampeni, Mr. Mampeni, Dada John Mahama. One also, you can want someone, and also to say, and also the any to become a do baby say, maybe someone mamma can't say it, or to me to this in some way. My pen and not buy and also and some uncle or you say what you say and some baby. A man quadanka thinks a crash as so a cassette and penny fun can say a banisa. Yes, I say for him it will do baby away. I hear him for and a year, I'm a him for so baby share. A babeca, I might say quadano and a issue. And quadaya di my penny nanadra tell me. In some of you one creamy. Metian me who dream is When I brought you be on the casa, actually penny. Yes, you have been penny for no. I'm on your folk and is if you want. Honorable Kenson, who are ben we a penny. Dear C, yes, one more contingency. I form more pacho. Obi to be an cracker, say my penny, that amus, or yeah, sabi, or a chimpanzee. And some that those people are still in the system. I been you see. The mentality. Until we dear Tamua, and now you're correct. Someone make a Mrs. Lambry, Canada, probably. But they say, one abu, the Biaye, we are my uni. And Quadia do ye, and some of Mokai. yɛsake wɔ moma pakyɛw yɛhwɛ ensɛm a ɔmo kan yɛ pama yɛ pam wɔ kyɛ wɔ ɔmo apa mampani ba mu sɛ yɛhwɛ ne nye bibi other form of punishment yɛfa ma ɔmo ɛdɛ na ɛbɛda fa de ade mu anka iya anka yɛnte so tia wapɛ
Jacob asɛm no ka obia gye tum sɛ ankɔ wie antwe yie nkwala mako 8 or so first mpɛsɛ mbisa sɛ yɛsɛ yɛ ma no kɔ school mo mfa mobile phone ɛnkɔ school mo nkwala no mo twa selfie wotumi sɛ na ɔmo cameras ni bi ɛno ha nti na ɛkyɛ sɛ ɔmo kita mobile phones a ɛyɛ open to the public teacher for mo hɔ nyinaa no ɔmo hu sɛ nkwala no ɔmo use mobile phones nti we kura kyerɛ sɛ mmerɛ a ɛwɔ school no mu no teacher for no so kura mmoa ma yɛ ni so ɛno yɛ adeɛ di kan lecturer boss wɔ ha university deɛ edu baabi a but ɔmo deɛ no nyɛ university deɛ saa mmerɛ ne ni wɔ sɛ yɛ use mobile phones wɔ hɔ but senior high for no deɛ yɛahyɛ mmerɛ no sɛ ma ɔmo use mobile phones ɛwɔ school mu hɔ na wonim adeɛ bi wɔ hɔ a wokan bible no a Mr. First King 15:16 no ɔhene bi a yɛfaa no Zimri wɔ sɛ ɛdin no ɛyɛ din kakra na bible no kyerɛ sɛ ɔbɛdi ɔman no so 7 days pɛ na ɔyɛ youngest person a sɛ me nana a wɔte hɔ yi sɛ wɔfra ntoma no wɔte hɔ na yɛsi nana na ɛbɛyi a ɔtumi sɛ ɔyɛ young wodu wofi yi wotra bɛkyɛm kwanta kɔ yi a ahemfo wɔ nyinaa yɛ mpanimfo nti sɛ wɔte ɔmo ntam a wobɛhu sɛ wɔyɛ very young na saa ɔhene ɔno ne nneɛma a wanyɛ ne yie nti no ɔpagya ahyi ahemfie no ahyi ɔno ankasa nso no ho ɔhene no ha n'abusua ɛsiane sɛ ɔhene anka afei no wanya 25 years na anka yɛsi wɔ ɔhene deɛ anka wɔ long way to go but ɛnam ne nneɛma bi a wanyɛ ne yie nti no ɔde nnome ba ɔno ankasa ne ho so ɛma ɔhyee efie no ɛhyɛ ɔno ankasa ɛma ɔno ankasa nso yɛ te sɛ nson no nti ɔne n'abusua nyinaa no wɔha wɔn mika wia besi sɛ awofoɔ a ɔmo te hɔ a ɔmo ma ɛyɛ ɛsɛ ɔmo ansoma ɔmo so ɔmo kɔyɛ saa o nanso ɛnnɛ asɛm wei aba no awofoɔ no ɔmo nim agu ase in fact kurom wɔ paa deɛ kuro no ɔmo fi so no nkurɔfoɔ nim wɔn no a abɛdu mpɛmpɛnso wei woyɛ maame woyɛ gya na wotwa mu kura na yɛka sɛ abɔfra no a papa no a wɔkɔ no
ne ba ne didi atam
na ɛnna kɔdi ɔmanpanyin atam a efi akeka wo ho ɛno yɛ adeɛ baako deɛ to so mmienu ɛkwan bi so no sɛ nnome ɛba nipa so a ɛyɛ ayɛ nte aseɛ minka sɛ obi a wakɔ ha obiara mu no na bibi nti na wayɛ yɛwɔ natural deɛ nyankopɔn ɛnam nyankopɔn so a obi di aba asase so a ɔno ankasa no ebi ɛnɔma bi nkɔ yie ma no na yɛwɔ bi nso a ne nneɛma bi a ɔyɛ efi ne mmɔfra mu ɔde kɔ so nyinaa no ɔno nso nyi a ne yɛde bi yɛ no a afei na ɔte dan mu a na ɔteatea mu sɛ wotumi di ɔmampanin atam a to the sense sɛ na Jacob aka yɛ no ade ne bi wɔ sɛ woka na nipa ne te but woka nso a na wo so wokɔ too much but antwe yie nanso na ɛbɛyi ɔmo adi no mepɛ sɛ mbisa sɛ is this the first time
no
schools sɛ yɛyi nkɔla adi da biara ɔmo a ebinom kɔtwe wi yɛhu a ne yɛyi ɔmo adi ɛno no ebi wɔ hɔ ɛtumi pa mo ɔmo fi school mu hɔ na ɔmo akɔfa back door na ɔmo akɔ another school mebo a wei no deɛ yɛ different ɛwɔ mu ni sɛ yɛyi ɔmo adi fi GS nti GS deɛ ɛyɛ across na kyerɛ sɛ wontumi nkɔ school biara bio ɛno na yɛ different a mimi hu ba sɛ akɔla bi ayɛ bɔne ɔyɛ biribi ne yɛtwe n'aso no deɛ esi na esi wie a na yɛkɔ school mu a ne akɔ pakyɛw ɛnɛ mmerɛ a yɛde baa sɛ ma teacherfoɔ ntwa abaa bio mu no ɛka ho to me ɛka ho ɛna nnɔma bi ɛnkɔ yie wɔ school ɛnɛ wontumi nkɔtwa adɔ ɛma akɔla sɛ wɔn dɔ papa bɛfifie na pressure ɔde ma wo teacher ni no ne papa na yɛ PhD wo teacher no nyɛ PhD what you say ne papa na yɛ bank manager ɛwɔ baabi wo teacher no nu hɔ ɔbɔ ɔbɛka ne nyinaa kyerɛ wo me ba no that you obesa ho omuka ena yeti we ukobebe na ohia o teacher ni a no we be so ho say masa me teacher ho ana say me di nachi so say masa no ho ana me di nachi because uko do teacher ni anim na uka say oh say osumasi we dey bibi kakra ni me di jawa na uko na say osumasi nso twa body duro back no nso di mawa no so bia woni fam di a wo ye obia woni di anyankopon di adom no
we dey want some can say awofo bi betumi akọ school ma akọ ha adwen na amaka dey see o mention government hospital say national service
correct
any Washington region ne ba na obi nya to me call can say general art student ba na ye science
yo mo ya art mo jani yo general art for it is so it is mo ye kan nyina no ni sunsanso e wo ho omo yi na di no omo start free school mo wankasa and na school for no forward report no e di ma region region so e forward di ma national national we no say asem we di ehu na omo di call Ghana Education Service directorate and na directorate for so ka hu say report na free school mo ba nyina no che say ngola no ye yi omo di antwe yi enti eno pe na ye difference say omo di no akotwe no mo bedu ba bi a GS ankasa asomu say ye yi nkrofo ne maya na di na che so omo timi nya kwan e wa school bi am nko exam school omo ntro bi ayi recommendation bi anim say omo ntro fie na omo nko try exams recommendation bi anim say ye mo omo ntro fie 2 years after 2 years na omo samre school mo recommendation nya ni say ye yi omo di nti ye yi omo di ade na beba omo mpanin nana adodanko akufo ado ono di free education by and uncle nyame adom free education omanya bi uncle omanya free education bi we say yes and you omadi na you omadi no mokwa na just omunya free no but it wasn't free for them because they were punished na omampani ni yemu ye no say mum pe punishment foforo bi a mo betimi di amom o say omampani anka say munya omokwa ya but mum pe bibia mo betimi aye omo a e betimi aboa ebi ni say ebi e beka so omo ntena fie na instead of say anka ebi on betro exams no next you know omo de no omo no next year and the next 2 years ana mo ntena fie mo mesua de o school mo na mo edu exams no a mo ma betro ana say ye nya omo den edan na omo dem no so mo ye tutu na omo dem a ye mo na mo 44 na omo ntire omo ti say school says and no school no a prepare says bi mo omo na for mo nhyem na punish omo kakra eduane ye mo school mo no say ye mo 3 times a day a omo de no say hot mail ye mo cold mail na so say enoma nkitin no wa betimi de aye omo a e dia so bi beba but nkwala no e so mo kom nkoto dua nim so omo ye muslims o omo ye christians o omo ye budi omo ye den o omo kom nkoto dua nim no mo mo mpaye no mo nsre boni fache
honorable ye ka on be sre boni fache ba e hyase afiri hi
That's right.
ani abedu bebia ye we ehwe so awdo bia me maaye no nipa na edi atem no sabe omo nya nkwada omo ye astute politicians and now we are politicians na so we communicator na so anu nya ya ye hu
e ko me ho na me ba no
okay
enti ye ka besi say ye sua de ne fi school onim say tescom eni isa no me nyina no ye sua senior ye communicate party onim say people who did communication, the real communication, they can't do communication for the party. You know that? Because on only pure communication,
he has been trained.
He has been trained.
Like me, you know.
Inti, anybody are training no. Inti training na yedi amano no. O kasa na ekope no akaya bi osua ye. But here is the case.
A guide no.
A guide no. But here is the case. A course could be a political science. It be a business. It be a way. Ye nyina na ye beka ye ho abom. Eni afom, eni ye wo party bim. Eni ye yi mi say me nko radio station we na me nko we. Me ko ye no na me ko to me nua bi wo ho. O man na no so pa. Ya o. Se nyame enti umu. Na nyame amoa wa. Je o kan ye no bedi nachi.
That's right.
Nti mo se mu mi ye no mu ti studio ha. O mo ti abonti nya be fi se mu ya tamfo. E ka twede maybe me kai sen go for bi ba e ka go mo
ba
agomo bo
me hu
so enti aba be real politics no man kasa mpanimfo ankasa from the chairman to the polling station obi agina ho no okasa e che ne nua no opponent a atem didie ebinom bu ba akese e no modidi atem ebinom so kom asem a ya se ne yakase both NDC MPP ebi ya transia ya kase we aye we ya manu hia ya manu omu hia because ono so pese ni papa politics baby wa akodu no ono so bedu hobi in the school mu ono pese obi amu se na ne yetin ono na ne so ehye ono na yakase obekasa a obedi atem obetimi di atem nti omu hia o nti yen penifo na baby a yedu o politics mu a na me adumi amtuwe ya graduate mi fi baby a me fi abedu MCE ni ye besan graduate mi biemu yi na man tuma no yie na me didi nko fo atemu a ofi se babo a amwa yesi nyame nsam hia na mo nipa ye wadefo enye wo wa ho ade no mo bia ofi se obetimi aye na odi obi atemu a but onim empenifo nso di baby a obi otimi di atem pa ni afre no is why ade otimi so we di obi atem papa ya odi na atem papa atamesh akwabi di na atem na sa kwa me nyanga mehwehwe asem bi a wo kan ye nanado oba be ba ban mu no atem didi a ye didi na chi ya ba ye ene nti akokwa no
which is wrong.
Yes, he has been now I mean we are used to which is enye seminana anam papa ene nanado a anga manage hu eh odi ekro no mo ko wasi woni ase ayi oje aman na eba no a nti anga nya me de
papa
jo mama ya me wo fa ono won timi nya me nana nti oba me wo fa o ya me wo fa enaka odi ni moto bi na da no tena so no a wo hye no niche no na me tifia na krudu na obechi ame a anga nya me fe ba bia nipa na edu no wo eso bom pa ye keke na nya me ye wadom na wodi wanim se wo so betimi edu hobi na Africa ade ba ko pa ye nim ni se so bi ti soro a no bi ti fom a eso otwe fi soro ha ebe hwe fom na no so kwotena ho but instead of say wo twe no twe be no soro ho na mom okoto no oba bi ote no a nyame ye wadom a obetimi asan no ho eno ne hia atem didi he enkosi aga ade ba ko ye ntimi nya na owi asem se wo ye tietia wo ye tintia untimi nkotwitwa wo nan so enkase mpese me ye tietia da ena untimi nko emfa nan bi nko kan wo nan ho enkase mpese me ye tintia no ka be artificial but in politics no say funny say it's like obi oti aso dem and then we have a Christian country ya hu ni say yes Christians about 65%, Muslims about 19%. When you say Ghana any baby a Muslims ni Christopher omo kan omo bom yen chief imam yes aso dem akodo notiska Dr. Mahmoud Baumia okọ aso dem na me na Copernicus ye di asano but just mu ye on so ye Muslim tina asano na
enko yi
court say but Pentecost for say yes but that me bom say man o ya de say ye kire no ye ko nyane ye to yensa ono so to bi eno ne kire say unity enye say obi sum ye nyina nyam ba ko no na ye sum no ana Allah no ye kan ye different from Yesu no anase Nyankopon na ye kan de bi nti mesere enkola no entwe yi o mampeni na nado say ye mfa nche o mo ne mpe punishment foforo a e wo ho me kura de me say be ya anka ye mfa nche o mo na se no mampeni na nado kan no mo mfa bi nka ho na mo nya o no mo besu o ma de no nkola na nkasa te ho a me de me say o mo tibua e be bu o mo fo
me ka bra na your elementary school your primary school ade ba kwa na mo de tete ye efie ntete ye ene abonten tete enti no akwada no belongs to the society anya wo fo no nko ade a me kai master akwado wherever he may be I know on tiase master akwado no child of presby methodist me should be called presby me Anglican called me feel called presby na master akwado nam kurom na say uniform no be anim
methodist for the
yes enti ohun a presby wo hu da time and sister wutina kurom wo hu obefi methodist aba presby bra mo assembly no obe hwehwe mu an wa yiwa begina bonten
really
no I'm telling you na watwa wo ma our presby ho akade nti otwa no wo bomo wi a no come back to methodist
eno no
intina we belong to the society
sanity is there
yes say the side ni nyina no eni obio me ka na be si asam so say your politicians are ebi no pre di brekase pa wo Ghana ha di brekase pa wo Ghana say woman nya kwanso mo kasa omo di atama to level bi a ana me yem kra hyehye me say ti ne ma ofie e hwe nana
omo hwe
and why did we went wrong then they see yaw
Agya
am you do baby say enia say nkwala no wo mu hwe
Agya da me am shame ye pa I think some screenshot me ba here October 2021 9th October say school for me ensa ahye Nyinahan Catholic SHS omo school no because you say mo apo minim say wo kaya omo school dan school for me ensa
oh yeah
say teacher say ma o mo kro no wo exam nti ya school sada no na me am shame pa Agya wonim say I have a lot of interactions with schools. Last year, we went to about 7 universities, speaking to more than 5,000 youth. But Agya, sa oto bo ase pa na ususu nsem we ho a oman no eya ye ho. Maka wa happen. Say we Ghana for mienu bia median age 21. Nti we Ghana for mienu bia baako less than 21 years.
yes
More than 50% of Ghanaians less than 21 years. Nti subaya ye hu and then na yehu ni say nkra nwotwe and 2021 miensa eshi school dan because so mo ba teacher they make am na cause ni say these issues and yes sport issues and yet ade a obeka say prevalent in nkra age in nkwa. This is a rising phenomenon which must make all of us sit down. But say what na ho na obusa the real question is so intitiye nsuyebe ni society ben and ma this behavior becomes a norm and opay madam Fubi who is on Facebook he's an MPP member avowed MPP member he's communicating on this. He goes on and says omo ka say GS anya de no he goes on and say politics in teen say GS anya de no mo ono de ofo aso say yi na di. I will quote how he ends. Politics and bitterness is making us accept stupidity and stupidity in Wayne capital as a norm. Very sad. And I'm asking, why does he think that people who disagree are being stupid or that act is stupidity?
He used that word.
Yes, stupidity. And I'm wondering, you're talking about Nkra, Medi atem, inti ye Medi. Man for say omone GS in Yadrin say you Medi. For the fact that omone GS in Yadrin, you also think that act is stupid. And that undermines in some what I want. It's become almost a norm. Say bi ukasa no eni atama won kan. Why does stupidity, for example, why does it matter that in criticizing an insult you find it needful to insult? Ukasa obi adidi atem nti enye, but in justifying so obi no onya adwen nti say nipa kro no so is stupid. I don't know if I'm making sense. Sure, they're making me na say the culture is become so insulting. Openyi bi kan say, o se bio ya nananom no mo kasa ye ho a no mo bro ntwene mu. Nti ye de ye nim kasa boko. We openyi bi one me kasa. O se ya amane ne amamre no ye nim kasa de ne kasa boko. O maame wo ya de o maame be yi nim paboa. No de mpaboa no to ejamo. Senya wo ka o teacher akun, who can because obo, which is all part of the culture, which is almost abusive, which yehunu ni say why ma when you anya there you won't be anything. But the core thing we are trying to enforce is discipline. Discipline is the yenyina de ahwe ni say ye benya nkrom ye discipline. I went to one of the most disciplined schools in Ghana, St. James Seminary. Sure. Second. It's a Catholic seminary in Ghana. The current bishop of Sunyane, near friend next door, Bishop Jemfi. The discipline was unmatched. Yeah. But the point you realize, they say, yeah, chere the entire kotu sie, ana kotu dia hini, ana se ye yiwadi. because there is a certain understanding. Yeah. There are two extremes. On one extreme, to challenge anything. On kra senior coach I tell you so him for apakaimu. Inti oyo hene anase oyo panyi dia yenkashi. Jobe bia no kre. Inti we exalt leadership in a way that we don't question, which is wrong. So on one side the culture say opanyi ya dia akra woni hwan wakabi. Inti sabi akra nim nyansa. Akra ni panyi di asama akra di for. That is on one extreme. Where yatete nkra who have no courage, who have no ability to question, who just do anything society wants. And I actually on mine say no. So we can have very disciplined, high-level intellect, questioning things, doing things differently without insulting. And on the other side, you can't kukodra, you say be obi or you mensem. You can't mensem cry kikau. Ekosi saying, and you be aligning the culture to a extent say you bet me a dinkoma ye ni obi atem. Me no nya adwen. Na ma kire say me no nya adwen because of 1 2 3. Any kwa say on me ya adwen, but me so so ye nie backed by some clear reasoning. And eja me fa ngoma we just to quote something. In 2018, World Bank Human Capital Index say 56% of Ghana's human capital will go waste in 18 years. 56%, this is 2018. It was published in Daily Graphic. 2018, World Bank Human Capital Index, say 56% of Nkra Eco School Nyanano.
Be waste.
Udo to global, the average quality, nipa mudro, and this obey relevant to Riasana. 56% of Nkrana Yecho Madiano would be wasted in the environment of the culture. Say home faso to the global development. This is 2018. And so, Eja, you know I'm very passionate about these issues. And when I go to the youth, I'm extremely passionate about youth development. Into Yaba Nkrana specific. Of course, what they did is wrong. Of course, no one can condone that. Of course, you can't insult a president. You can't do that. Once we all agree that it should not be condoned in any form, they must be punished by all means. We should ask ourselves the very, very hard questions. Society ben yetima say the last time I know studio it was two politicians and no more went at each other and many prof dia no mo theater omo ho an ye nyina sorry call e ekosi ni saying and the yardstick for communication has become insultive words. I've shown you obi a criticizing omo ne nya adwen finds the need to say stupidity in that communication. Into the make a man a question say ye nyina no Nkra no is only a reflection of us. In Crono Mudidi Atem, they are a reflection of us. We should punish them by all means. But the same measure of punishment should make us question, say, yen, so how do we reorient? Say, it's not about blind obedience. It's not about keeping quiet. But it's also not about insultive words. It's about debate. A Jamaica in every communication dynamics, you are either a student, you are a teacher, or you are a colleague. Say either say we a teacher ni unim bibi na wo kire. Uyo suani obra ho ase na watie. Anase moye of the same level. Mo dwendwene ho. Tone tonte. No nsa no e fa adwen. Eba adwen fa na ye nyina ye the same level. We debate. That's into your parliament. People do not keep quiet because they are collegial. They debate, and it is required that ye fa adwene no sai ye ni e ho nya adwen. We disagree and debate vehemently. Ebasa we a student na hunu ni se obi nim chen wa obre ho ase na obusa questions na wasua de. We a teacher o kire in a way say obe man pensem. So these are the three dynamics in na ye nyina ko ye say a country of 31 coaches, 31 professors, 31 million medical doctors. Ye nyina enim bibia, inti teacher ni nim, student nim, and our colleagues nim. But let's all examine the cultural tempo. Ye nyina ye hunu ni say, baby or I was say emia anu ni etie ni ebusa question. Baby or I was say ni mpanyifo e disagree na ye fa adwen. Baby so or I was say e kire ɛwɔ ahobrɛaseɛ mu
Okay.
and
some way you can say be the chebeka pa na Tofik ma so be say what kai say yen kwada na dubra bi say I think is it Begroside or baby you see headmaster B head teacher B
Fam.
teacher BBC I'm a school for kobo teacher in head teacher
I was coming to talk about
say yet to me and kwada to me nyakokodura do level say teacher ni o wonim enkane no ana me ya say ya my educational system no ya tu na jeje mo me do bia ye we me for me de bia meka say your educational system no apro sanka ade aka ekura o system no mu kura na nka ye gum kakra anka beboa who dare you to talk to a teacher anyhow who so teacher ni kura she wa ofo yes enti bibi say school for to me ko buti cheni kunu awa Ghana ha school for to me ko buti cheni teacher ni ba na school for atwa che say ensem hwanyan asem o kan about World Bank ade na ma me yema hye me pa say mabu na yetete o ma 58% hu man fa so
yeah
ma wiase beto Ghana so a
I have read
ye wayi pa ti wuje di say one penifo no so edi atam penifo ye politicians penifo na edi atam na still na eda so hwe wo mo no ane na ye punish kwala na penifo na ye punish omu bi
okay that's a very good submission I will make before I make comments I want to make reference to report now my brother why I've read that report but report no has to do with your education system messiah structure in education and that has the tendency of make young youth redundant. It doesn't have anything to do with discipline. It's not about discipline issue. It has to do with nyankasa young education structure as abazana yeze tre mo framan wo school and how relevant are those things to them.
But discipline also play a vital role when it comes
in respect to this
report.
But you see, education and the structure, we can go into that. But okay, the report, I agree with you, is about structuring of education. But what is education without character?
That's true.
You may
I know, if we want to a very holistic discussion. Now, on the substantive issue, as some this is even an issue you're wasting time to talk about it because in your first time at the master we see the American we have had instances students have mobbed up we kuku one teacher we've had instances students have teamed up ganged up wakashu one teacher ne farm we've had instance student wabo teacher na so what class in front of his colleagues. We have had instances even at the university level. Our student our class retraze very large class you are teaching students and then a student would be or the phone what class you question student. These are issues of indiscipline. You question student, the student questions you back. You try to even seize the phone. Student tells you he or she is not going to give you the phone. There are instances where you are teaching in class, you are lecturing. Student is watching football. And now Orsha my bet. There are instances where students are even watching pornography in class. And the lecturer has absolutely nothing to do. Now, in respect to student slapping teachers in class, Agya, I've never heard GES waka some home. There, to the extent there was say, I'm a student even 2 terms, suspension. Student, one man said one slapped a teacher in class. These are on record. These are on record. GS doesn't do. Is it because students work president in NC? GS will take them decision now. I think the time has come for us to be very serious and not to pay lip service to issues of indiscipline, in our schools. And first of all, I think there are even structures, there are policies in place at the school, disciplinary policies in place at the school. The school in question could have even taken those decisions without necessarily GES coming into. GES has many other issues to think about. The issue of doing things to please a president or to please a regime must stop. Must stop. That hypocrisy, normal impedance or continue, because almost all the time state institutions are doing things to please the regime in place. And that is very wrong. That's very wrong. Because you see, it is not about sacking the students from public schools. So we also have to think about the social repercussions of those decisions. Because my friend, what it means is that, assuming the parents are poor, so they cannot send their children to the private school because government has banned them from all public schools. So the parents, assuming are poor, want to call private secondary school. So what it means in there, the entire future of these kids have come to a standstill. And the same people, when you talk to people who are into drugs, people who are into social vices like prostitution, armed robbery, and so on and so forth, some of them will give you some of these reasons. So dismiss one them on school. What are the social repercussions of that decision? They are now going to become social vices, and the state is going to spend a lot of money in taking care of these things.
The CA and this is sometimes ubetumi akabibi a chair penny. Now come back first of canon so here ye pa. Ubi na no campaign na no ya. Say so ubi our no ya. And they used to say a beben or crass a bacawasem. Na no ya I can't time. Until I make beer Sufi Papa J say Papa J I can answer me and Crawford dinner tema. Be say in some way I meet you mean cow every day so. Na e be quite time crack. I be do be a doing. Ye won't penny for Obi a would dear tem. Careful penny phobic potol. And then oh the bread. Obi a would dear tem bribia besinko. A bribino, yamani di bread. And see a man aqua say at Tim Didiano, a baba de assistance, Agya to say, a see to me the PBA, near can say the PBA. Mamma, my baby and Sapanafi and quite that topic. So say,
Agya, you see,
say at the end of your bay ye. Nas dear Coswino. Oh, and yashi in your maninka. And yashi in your maninka. I think say this Child Rights International almost say they've taken GS on blah blah blah.
And it is true.
They say or na more mutu ye no enye. But Child Rights International so na maybe say niema bi wo ho an kwada no so bi ya enye education sector. Ebia school bi mu me anda bia be make say asamo a ewo din no ena omo do ho bata ho. Insan bebre wo ho a e fa kwada ho so mutu hwe no kan ho asam. Enye no kora na pesa me kampo. Na make say e de na sese ye. Na nipa ye nim so mo ye panimfo a wo mo kase di atampoto. In some who here, in some sense, what I saw be on one cano, or more from opponent, still on system no more. And then the bay near Busso said a bayer, dear Queen Babran as a preoccupation.
Okay, Agya,
When you open
the start, yes, sir.
And Pacific Walker cannot to us wrong, over to us. Now, you who can business here say, a Jacoba also can say, I didn't would in Tinanko for video Modin or Mubata Patapata. But I mean, you idea them. Who would you do it?
I mean, Facebook is so much trouble.
You do it. But only my dear, and Nuntina or Mampenny or Cobebia. Motor kid be eating him. You were Gophobia or guiding. Oh, see for Unquana. You should be seen for Munquana. A Jacob or no bodyguard.
I then the bodyguard in Yacopo.
But none Pacific Cacosi say, and yes, sir, it be a GS a year. That institution, no, a year or penintina, ebia, or more fast tracking the process, say, and granny you are moody. Not teach any bina, and grano bono, and only you are moody. On say, internal administrative, a Hebrew or and Gagan education said before, time we a boot teacher, even within the region, and go more bit my baby. a teacher ni no or serve one region, one school at a time. O man peninsu de ono no ogina ye nyina ya na mu the whole country. Nti obi di na temo odoman nkura e ka no. Obi ye bibi wa ha e ka no. Ye nsoso so say obi ni obi atem. Na mbom no ese na trust am kan no. O say ewie ni beba o man ewiase emu be yente. Mofra
abaya so de.
Asodin for beba. Nti Bible na some okan nyina no ese say blabum nketi.
Nti ebi ni.
Na ye bo teacher no. Asodin no obi ate say abo teacher but nkofo ehun ni say e serious. But ye di o man penyatemo na nkofo refer to the Bible say ampa nkula no maso ati ampa. Esan say o say mpenifo nso beda o mbeso adae. Openin so dae wa na o ka kire no. But akula do ya asodin a o da dedi. Enu nti na ye say apo no. Ye say man fa apo nko classroom. Na o di apo e ko na teacher ni ko kan no ma che no. No ma pu no ma she school dan. Asodin no ebi no. Ewi say ye din kakan nyina no. Ye nyina ye make sure say Quran me sure say kai. Bible o kai. Eya ye mfa entutu hu kakra. Na Bible kan nyina ewie a me ka Bible ntina me ka Bible no. Le mo fa nchame. Bible kan nyina ewie a wo se mo yesi a. Ba ja ja se. Say besi. Nti no sa nkola no ye asodin a. Die na ye so ye Bible say wona wo ye oman mu timaimufoɔ mpanimfoɔ na Bible ka asɔre mpanimfoɔ yɛnkɔ yɛnkɔtɔdie anim ne yɛmmɔ mpae ne yɛnsɛ Awurade sɛ ɔmmoa yɛn na woka about education sɛ system no nti na ama saa nɔɔma no nyinaa ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ mu saa awiase no deɛ sɛ yɛmpo ɛbɛkɔ nkakra but yɛsɛ yɛtumi sesɛ nɔɔma bi a yɛbɛtumi aboa yɛn nti ɔmampani atam didie no deɛ ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ ɔmampani nti na Homadi atum or body gas or motor keys the car emienu or cover beer or a little bit special than
I disagree.
I disagree. But some okay cry mama can say once I went the end of social media you I meant a man he but I think say GS phone so said and Kwabena yana do baby on 2 months I'm telling so teacher for so no Kwarana etwa omaso but just say
I don't know
amanye hu nti
but no a teacher you are lecturer
I hope I'm so person GS40 as am papa say bibi say see a ya te say abo teacher ni so mo twe aso so a moment say atwe Kwarana so
na me bi atwem say no mo say nkitin prison nkitin bi ankora na ya
on koso
Human Rights International now will not allow for those things to go on and I am so you see Agya responding to some problem in here came has to do with the over-westernization
of our system.
Yeah, borrow abrofun one culture and we are more abrofo than abrofo. Meanwhile, we have very good cultural traditions, practices. In Chadamazi can never happen. Erika Sanekade first in Abofraba is a member of the society. Yeah. So every member of the society has a responsibility of making sure that Moframan or every element of the society stick to a certain norm or a certain behavior. But that says it is no longer like that. And when they have a Frabori as Onya, even in the same house, sometimes compound house, and when they would neighbor or misbehavior, it's really a bakasa because the kasa nese ne mami oba, it is going to become a very big problem. Now, going back to the solution to the problem, Ebisaman, I think it must start with the media. You asked me a question there. They have set the pace for Maframan to also follow. Yeah. The starting point to solve this problem must always start with the media. Agya, because that is what I do. You understand? You want politicians and you give them the platform to come and say all these things. My colleague or Kassa also said there was a time 2 politicians, one from NDC and MPP, and they had to leave the studio. So sometimes one Kassa journalist and median, you must also have a big role to play in this enterprise we call, free speech, etc., etc.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. Because my family, they are listening. My friend, they are listening, and some of them they pick those strong words now you use on media, on TV, radio. They pick those words.
And movies, everything. Yeah. They pick them. They pick. Oh, what's in there? What's the Papano? Look at that statement, Papano, referring to a former president. Even now, even kids, my friend, former president on TV, they refer to him as Papano. Maybe it is not like that. And if you media no poka, if you start with the media, because now the first source of information or media.
That's true.
And let me tell you, let me give you a very simple example. I'm sure whenever you wake up, before you even say good morning to your wife, you pick your phone. Most of us, we pick our phone and see, have a message in our bar. And so we interact, or you want to know what is happening, what is new. We interact most of the time with our phones than even with ourselves. And so the media has a very big role to play in ensuring discipline into our maframan. Since even about basic school, up to SHS, when a child misbehaves, let's say even a word of mouth, the teacher says even a word of mouth that is abusive. If you see the kind of rebuttals that come from students now, you'll be surprised.
Obey the message by say the worst is yet to come. Teachers will sit down and look at students to do whatever they want to do. And no, make us say your educational system. Me, there be a make also I can say a failure totally. It's like say those days education system na wo sabre no a kire wo de akwada sesa wo ye de sesa wo ye in terms of because school kan text for boys and girls no kura bi you read it until say ntitie ne nya wo fie mpo a wo to mfa ko school udu school abesesa it is send market nyina no na ye say ye ne sania ye pese wo kan bibi ma ne ye me de say we are trying to be more abroad than that. I mean,
but let me give you one example. There was a time I was in class. I came to class. I had a lecture. I came to class to teach. Maybe some of the students are sitting back when there are spaces in front. And usually, when you see some of these things, so students, some of them sometimes, if they want to misbehave and they have other things doing, they'll just go and sit at the back of the class and pretend they are part of the class when they are not. So when I come to class, I make sure the way my student is in a way I can easily interact with them. I asked one student, I asked him to come sit in front. The student tells me, the lecturer in class, but he has the right to sit anywhere that he wants to sit in class. I cannot compel him to come and sit in front. The student had the guts to tell me this. And so, if you were in my position, what will you do?
Pamo. University, the way they 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, 14.
You see, in Komo, no, Nick because with many things, there are balance. One find a balance, and you tilt to one of the extremes. Mr. Su said, things like right, for example, of course, people have certain rights. I think that some cultural practices inhibit. I'm not of the view, say, yen can cry and share. I'm not of the view, say, yen to think cry, say, minkasa. I'm not of the view, say, and crano should be without a voice and confidence. So that's one side. But at the back, and that's the thing I wanted to correct. I think, say, your culture props, say, respect is end. Inti sebi oye honorable. Inti I was say mi buno. But sebi ochi taxi dia onyo bia inti mami muno. There's a certain cultural class and power dynamics are power distance inti ebu omo to me. Eche omo ni to me. Now I can't because respect is end. Inti naturally the disposition is to disrespect until you end the respect. I want us to re-examine that. I think that universal basic respect. Onipa bia no here respect because so you nipa. And if we can reorient ourselves to that, say disrespect rather must be earned. You don't earn respect. Ubunu because of your nipa.
Okay.
And yet the sanctity any fifie ko school. Ni ehun say ye ni nipa tem. And yes or ye president intia but ye ni nipa tem. Ye ni nipa eji achinye ye ni nipa enya adwen but ye ni nipa tem. Not because you're president in Tina Uninatem, but you don't insult him because simple courtesies for boys and girls will tell you say respect is basic. Inti, I think that Africa we have a lot of respect, but there's also a lot of disrespect.
Okay.
There's a lot of abuse.
Okay.
Inti, I think that we should rearrange there when they say nipa bia, else ye bu nipa bia, and sa respect is end kasa no ye nyaika. Na ye replace it with universal basic respect.
Sometimes so ne yen so and I bet you say
no be disrespect but you respect me is giving us as the baseline
okay.
And then you earn disrespect or other.
Okay.
Respect yes mo yeka 1 minute pe. Respect yes mo yeka. Say na mo ka say eno ma wo emrofo no mu say abet na yemu even more than them. Anameboa. Na no tete no. We just we penny. Nti me ka tete na wonim de yeka. We kura say ebi wa nye enwo fufu after 6.
Dabi.
Obi wa yem ko edwaye enkodware because that time no see dan bia we see dan to say the edwaye na na bonti. Na kwanda so. Oni na ono abu bi ka say di drone no e fa so.
Asamba
ba. Iti sa respect ni start fi ho. Onim. That time no krowe emem. Ye frɛ na busum na ye frɛ no emem buo. Say oba ye bra unko 1 kilometer to the place. What you say? Aponchi. Ho. Isu bi da ho yes oba ye bra wontwa. Efiada yenko afuo mu. Nya sa ne wo. Nya no ne fa respect na. Sa no ne respect no. Eni abomodi na eyi ni nyina efi ho. Nti na ba bi ye nya aponchi no. Ye ya aponchi wo ho. Isu na nse se oba ye first wo kwa fitiri
otra no
ene
kra do dwarum
ene kra do osi ade wo
odwarum ankasa
so say
I like that one.
It's respect na ankasa no emrofo no mukrom snow to yen has no to yen han futuro na to dust say on dust me wa no ko US is here snow na to in the dust and this snow no what's the difference be wo onyankopon so bo wiase no wonim ba bia ese se odi bibia kototo ena odi toto ye but ye ne ba for say esua obi die e chen ye die no ne ye je die no wo ho at that time na wo ka say ye bu ade no na mo ba for ne bi ni ho wo be ye kwa wo be ko pnt wo be ko post office no wa ko book credit
ko bo nya wata
say be fa say mfa ene wo gina ho ye cho letter na wa ko post office no wa ko post na ko after 1 week asan no be to wo fa nka. What you say? So no when you mom we are moving to the modern world. Now when modern world na ye no to pray more. Now wo kwa no do baby otum say hoye no ma bi atutututum say you obi krom ye hwan dia onyankopon na abona de. Wo do baby a Indian Ocean. So wo to pray na nam poso nko be 3 hours. No baby so say the pray no fi so na e ba. Enfa ne beko ebetuma ko speed ya ko asase so ana debi but respect na ye kan nyina no suatara so ye suade no ma na tra atra o enti ye po ade bi o ba se de menu apani menu kan eno man ketenkete bi o ho a still no ye betimi aye esan se e kan obi a na kamen so enti ye di teacher atemo a inimanimu no na yese nipa no punishment yese de manu no ye de amano ye di opani bi nso atemo a punishment yese de manu no ye de amano enu ntina stress no wo ho enu ntina ba human right no human right no left one no my enu na this how no man
ba say we je bi say ya
me no nya
me ba tamo a nkola no di o mampani atemo no nkola no o mu di o mampani atemo no now I was expecting say
human right
for ba out aka say nkola no o ma di o mampani atem but o mu tena say education Ghana Education Service e take measures a eno mo mpe so o mu ye human right ni say obi afa hodie obi but yes ye jemu sa so dia eni ye be yam obi atimi aye ni wo
oh emra no nka say
America for say human right emrofo na mfa human right na anya adwuma na akatafo no see ni akatafo no omo di human right eno ne ye titi omo because otimi ye di opebia otimi nante kwan so no yi ni amene pant human right no woko no obodede no obodede odi ni call police station na human right asemo ye kan ya eye but no yeah mana broso
yes midase what did I say yeah mana broso na mpesa wo kan kana fe yedi si na ye to aso na Patrick Opoku say good morning Agya Kwabena, please I disagree with your comments. We still have subject called RME now in our schools. Yes, I understand perfectly. Religious and moral education minimum pass e wo ho but impact a enya won kwada no so no eno ho asem na make anti Patrick kan pe mi so me ma wache pa na Kofi Amose, Agya, have you noticed the little girl who insulted Mark Brown and Afia on Facebook? She's just about 4 years old. So who made her did it? People just want more likes on Facebook. I think the police must come in now. Nah. Okay, make sure we na young kwasa for us now. Upon Benez, say it pains me that our president has forgiven this student. We give thanks to our president for his kind heart. Watching live from the USA, greetings to my in-law Elder Kingsley Anto of Konongo. Until that, once it's all Chiapa Rose B. Or say it's time. Okay. Or say it's time that I know my right people and the freedom. Dormant should know that freedom of speech does not warrant for insult. Decorum is the key in the freedom of speech. Tietia. Yebe sorry. Yebe ko. Na pensioners say abanhwe na sa efie nti say ayeye said yebe ya ebeboa ama isi kasa matumi agina no onye pensioner for enfemfiri mu womu aye ankrankra board holders nso kire se aban nyi omu firi mu esan se womu no kete wesi kete bi enya de a ebeka aban no ewokwan bia so nti onye mu femfiri mu and matters are rising ya mamisha se mfiri so na me ma be your 25 minutes
right.
And me ma obey 5 solid minutes. No interruption. Emrem say, baby, I agree. Any anamo abayin episode wutui. You say, you. People are going through some kind of mental and psychological trauma. Would you say, you bet me who be? It's organized labor. And so just abayin and share. Nasa share pension fund man fund nsa enka kura aba so kire sese wanya ne sa ebe ha adwene
Agya, Mr. Tino, these are the figures. 33% of the 137 billion, all the domestic bond, is held by commercial banks.
Okay.
So Ubu Mumiensa, 1/3 is held by commercial banks. About 25% of it is held by firms and institutions. You have 9% held by Bank of Ghana, another 9% held by foreign investors, which brings the total to about 76%. 14% is held by others, where individuals are. And then pension funds, insurance company were 1%, pension funds are 6%. On the pensions funds, I think on 22nd December, there was a letter to exempt pension funds.
Yeah, the Ministry of Finance.
So that question has been solved. So pension funds has been exempted already. Into Jumaya Force me and Finance and pension. I think the minister has conceded to that, and on 22nd December issued a letter to suggest that pensions funds, which is about 6% of the entire debt, which is good. When it comes to this debt, domestic debt exchange program, the DKN say it's become necessary because IMF program may be difficult to secure. Yeah, insecure program no so there. I think every economics will understand say the economy of Ghana things may get worse than it is. Of course, you didn't come out the India you drew her and BC Russia, Ukraine, BC COVID, BC it's self-inflicted. Whatever it is, it's uncommon or you did but we're here. We're at the point I will say build it forward. Of course, Abaya te ejamu intimi nkase onicha in some of the problems. It's obvious. The real question is, IMF say ye bosia na ka ye de no ya nteso a medru baby a ya nteso a medru fan baby a o ma eske enye because we are debt unsustainable. I know say almost say external debt no ye di hu nkomo. Na no me say e be call global ye be busa aman foforo and the Paris club ne aman foforo e di omoka
so betu dia chen
so emfa ye kan chen
no mo fan chen
hepic na asem na ne ye kan na ja me no di nkomo we say hepic no asa ye try ya chen but hunzun san so na ye hu no inti whether external debt relief ni e benya or otherwise the question is domestic debt no ye emfa so nya ne say me means so here and I think I've said it. Banks were 33%. Okay, banks and institution in the Bank of Ghana in Aboma 76%. Insurance company were less than 1%. Otacha ebe affect almost significantly. It means to see mono insurance company fee.
But also I know so yeah from so much.
They are part of the exchange. But the American say because they hold less than 1% of the entire portfolio. And the impact will be significant on their business.
Okay.
Take them out. Individuals, assembly individuals, say, because of even inflation, the value of their currency is lost about 54% already. All the total CD depreciation, nisika no ko invest here no, it's almost gone already.
Sure.
Inti said ya kano, cyber with all the interest now the bonds are split into 12 less liquid but 12 different exit points. We said yo not there or then sika koto ho no so obenya hunsi ho either say oye pensioner na so obi obeko pension say or the basic fee or the better nedro no then you affect the individuals. The point is companies no and yet they say obe affect companies cash flow because they want here almost be pam nipa and all of that. But I think that the incident of the effect is better off on the company than on an individual. Because company, the presumption is say our longevity or better na ho ache into company has continued existence. Into I never make it profit. Be break na or chana no ho. Or bet near better na ache company in 50 years company or yen in yamani yaf 50 years na company in that so. But nipa there's a near already 45. I was saying in the next 15 years, ni sika or debato aban hono. Say be own yan senior debato hono. Already 45 to say no in the next 15 years no pension. The 15 years of his life, no, you've drastically changed the nature of his life. Into whatever the dynamics of the debt exchange program, no, we must protect individuals. Because on my morning, if less than people who live under $2 a day and the pure poverty line, anymore $2 a day, it's more than your minimum wage. If your minimum wage is at the figures it is now. I also want to say, if dependency ratio nipa ba kohwe nipa be 4 you should know say even ankran no omudo omusika akoto bond no omunya eboni on, and that's what we need to understand. The ordinary sika koma aban say I'm investing with my money with the government onya eboni bia, and that's the thing. Uko finance school me MBA ade ba ko ebedika ka che on say capital asset pricing model your friend capem udiskama buy bia in every economy. Yes, I know you're risk free. Just say sika wait me ahwere or investment bia mu no bonds is zero rated in terms of risk. Inti school bia bachelor say udu sika koma buy it's the safest thing you've done. Udu sika koma buy wo investment in no and no the most secure. Inti omo do omo sika ba aban no aban hunu ni say omo nye ebone. They have done nothing wrong. They were actually following prudent investment because it was said to be the most safest. Inti, if we need to do something about it, first thing I make and say, omo be invest say mama honorable sika na maba se me beje misika na honorable aka say miniska okafo didi opa koye de opa bia na nso mehu honorable ka kese fuel obeto agum kra e bia eso chen kana ode me no. That is the disposition in my humble view. The ordinary sika brown onye ebone and that is important to note. All the groups obia ni ho awaye bone. But because we need to reduce our debt to get an IMF program, na nya program na so chain baby aye woni nti. I was saying nyina ye de amemnefe eye bibi fa ho. And in say baby bibi afa ho no, Mr. Su said we should focus on the institutions. We should focus on the institutions. I bet me I no say the individual bondholder as an individual obeko pension. If you touch his already inflation, any depreciation of our city, ama nisika na say that. Ain't going to touch his savings and any investment he's giving to the most secured person in an economy. No, sebi wabono. Osu sabra ni suaka ho. Boni be no ye.
Boni a wa ye ni say.
Odis ka koto.
Odis ka koto. Na tie me for usana me fa Mr. Honorable.
Agya Kwabena. Edward.
Yes, we didn't depo papa. Aha. Or say, does the exemption of the pension fund mean the government will have money to pay its debts owed to the pension fund? No, that is not the case at all. The government does not have money to pay debts owed to the exempted debts. So then, the so-called exemption are empty shells. Their value is still the same. The exemption is a hoax. Honorable His Excellency Sam Piali and I do we buy. Is that the reality? Abaning this exemption here cano. You come yetima yede. But in reality nankasankano. And yes, I net here. Now, they said Papa Wokumasi, let's you Wokumasi and about you say baby Dr. Amakoba. Or can say be entry ajuna I didn't abankra in sa bomu krada until me entry ajuna. Honorable, send some of Kosia. Me share program na se me can bank sector clean up no. People died. Among for any stroke good them. Among for brabo basa and maybe a Uber drivers. I'm not more of these banks. They say your man kuyi. Ho ye na doso. Atete na doso. Yeah, Ghana card. Yeah, tete sa sim registration. Yeah, tete sa. And as I say, the akokobei just say investment no crowd and a kundi pamono. Do you think say be any make you know? I didn't abandon.
Because
I didn't know it.
Abandon the obey no one was say. The woman say, we should ask a question. Say, why should somebody invest? Number one, I think say maybe 3 key things are and will be investment. Number one, it should be the capital appreciation. Say nipa no, this kind of one now the koto at least. We see the bank when we so see the home. What you say? Now scan the bank here. DNA say ye. Scan the mau. Anoma bibiri. Ewo de bia na misuma teachers. Because misuma omo a wonu say teachers were fund. Na sa teachers fund no. Omo save wa mene omo bo bank for bosia.
Yeah.
Anambo. Omo bo bank for bosia o. E mo bank for ni di edwuma. E mo nya so mfa so. Na omo di kakra bi ato omo de no so. Amo omo percentage. Enya sa na mra ne tie. Enya kakra eso. Nti omo sika na koso ni nti a capital appreciation say omo make sure say omo sika na da ho no ebe wo na wo Jacob na nipa no o dis kan ko to ho no the person ohun aye stable interest rate say ni sika na da ho no say 10 cities na di kan ho a in the next year no maybe kakra ba kan ho na 19 kakra and o ma no se ne emo aye ka ewom eni no man ketinketi aye nyaa di eni ho a sa haircut here when you say di kan ba no obi bisa me say na say be you obi ati ada
ponka na
be you obi ati ada sa eno ma na ekoso no yakob hankofo na abani de oye no onfum mra bi anya say bi a wafum mra but me baby a me hu ni say enko yie kakra eye communication na edantem ho no say obi ade wo ho na opeso di ye bibi no the way a onye be kasa eno be manipa no awisie mu say ade we yesi ye di ye wo nti say mate ase. If you get to the Ministry of Finance, I'm sure say they have the PR department.
Sure.
Omo ye juma anka on say ye ba be yi 11 no. Me am offer. Ken Ofuriata. Okowa. So ye tuka ekukọ baby. Eko ye town hall meetings.
Enu ye time na wa ma ya ma manfo adwala na enko ye.
Enu ka ye
go have to engage.
Enu ye ko.
It is a very wrong strategy.
And it is a anka wenso ayesa no. Oh, ye tu one amon. On say adie ba ko for when nya ba ni say me di blame be the farm managers. Because the farm managers na omo managing for bonds ni sa no man.
Danger.
Dinti ni say the farm managers no they had a lot of meeting with government. They are part of the stakeholders. So they are part of the stakeholders. Officer aban so ye preocupa no kan say ye ba be ye we me bond e wo ebia Barclays Bank e wo Commercial Bank e wo ha they are the farm managers omo na omo di misika no e ye adwuma on so kan say the commercial banks are about 65%,
about 33%.
About 33%. Inti yen sika no omo di adwuma no inti yen no omo ko tie no omo ba be ka che yen inti omo farm managers from beginning what happened there.
But honorable, just as a statement of fact, by not take a committee of 5 people to oversee this structuring. I know on authority because I've heard the people say they met them once to listen to them. But as to say the plan and I say when it was not communicated until that.
Oh, they met them once
to listen to them.
So when they listen to them, to them, did they accept it or not?
No, the program was announced to all of us. They did not.
So it was just announcement to them.
Yes,
but not discussion.
No,
right? No. Okay. Indeed, I say still, no, we should blame our farm managers.
How?
The indeed, I say farm managers, and they say the government came out and announced this procedure. I mean the process
to the public.
To the no, to them.
To the public.
Okay, the farm managers.
No, the farm managers met. Yes, at least once. They announced to them once.
So listening to the
yes,
to list the communication I have heard from them is to say you share it to say what is possible. Until the committee met.
It was,
and then the announcement was only public.
Before
I can find letters for you.
Yes, even before the yield levy issues comes in. Farm managers see meetings. Me TUC for about out no. Almost say farm managers no I know aban any omo here discussing ni nyina no. The explanation farm managers ni nya any the aban ka say no different. It means say they met.
Okay.
It is I want no farm managers na ntia because who farm managers go no. Oso be boka o. Because e dey compare the sika 100,000 Ghana cedis abeto ho. And na wo hwe sika no so. And wo dis kana ko bond. Wo dis kana ko bond na asem aba ho ni. Ese bond no ka ye ma interest bi ama ho. Ye nya say ye nya ndu farm managers no. Omo njiro mo.
But you see, honorable, one thing I say, once the fund managers, all they could do is to give advice to government. Buying or invite your mono into a meeting, you had a discussion with them, and I'm sure fund managers had the kind of advice I would or make it. It's up to government to either take it or not.
But to me, but between me and you,
we're Ghana Web, right?
This is CTFM.
Okay.
Between me and you, say advice from the government, or fire, and now one fire. Now this is where we are now. What you say? Canada when na say na ye ka say no the whole world almost in for muka edoso no. Say about 5 countries or so in Africa. Yemfa can nche almost say be ya on betimi rule in some policies. And yes entimi nyi. Yet you say now all can was see you consider Ukraine war and blah blah and COVID and when in fact you know you fear say obabi yare at that moment now oba na yare no so we your budget ebia oba your budget say in case of if there is any pandemic within your house within that time no you'll be able to solve the problem. But why no di 20 Ghana na to ho. Afi adina ba mana compose so mo say 20 ebia 50,000. Who say o budget ya the next time no senate bia no. Who di no mo be hihim. So senate. For the fact say ebia yem pese e be di ato mu say COVID ababe ha adwe no. Wo di say yen ntum kura no a yen nya ye hu kire yen. Because ni yen nya ye hyedan mu.
Okay. Okay. What do you mean no? Let you know about say we were not consulted on debt exchange program, Chamber of Corporate Trustees. Now I say Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Corporate Trustees, Thomas Kwesi Eso, says the chamber was not consulted prior to the announcement of the proposed rollout of the Ghana Domestic Debt Exchange Program. Speaking at the launch of the debt restructuring program on Monday, December 5, 2022, the Finance Minister, Honorable Kanufuriata, said the government has also dialogued extensively with the regulators across the financial sector, including Security and Exchange Commission, National Insurance Commission, the National Pension Regulatory Authority, to agree that regulatory forbearance will be provided to all entities whose financial position is adversely affected by virtue of participation in this exchange. But speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Mr. Eso said the government did not engage his outfits on the program. The Minister of Finance put out a statement that they just say
the Minister of Finance in Sukan
he engaged with regulators
extensively.
Regulators no near players, no regulators near or more
yes.
But they are not the fund managers.
But you see, one thing is that
but they are not the fund managers.
One thing is that the Minister of Finance or the Ministry of Finance can engage with regulators, and regulators will then engage with the fund managers. So the Ministry of Finance, maybe by principle or by protocol, does not need to engage directly with fund managers.
Security Exchange Commission, National Pensions Regulatory Authority, and National Insurance Commission for no it's now up to them to also engage the fund managers.
Because fund managers, fund managers, they work directly under these institutions, these regulators like Security and Exchange Committee, they work directly under them, and they also get instructions from the Ministry of Finance. So are then bureaucracy.
You only looking forward to get your stable interest income. But what you say, Sanka, Tembia, no benya wadi, and sanity. Into who say the American sanity. Into whom, always about communication. The can be baby in your communication. In fact, Sanka, a normal course, say the greatest no meeting here, and now almost farm managers, and no mudu baby, and no mudishi by any way, and traway, and now I will do by this time. Go on, send us a bayjuma. But the name say, procedure no, anti-me follow the system, say, Anka, minister no, ministry no, I share your greatest navy no. Almost be share farm managers. But what you say, farm managers in Sufiwa, almost share the prayers.
Okay, the Minister of Finance put out a statement that they have engaged bondholders. We want to make it clear that we were not engaged in any debt exchange program, and I'm saying that on record. What actually happened was that around October 2022, when they set up 5-member committee, the committee met the industry players and took our concerns, our challenges, and our views, and I can remember that the chairman of the committee stressed that they were not doing that for any IMF program, and that we should close up our mind because there was not going to be any haircut, Mr. Nso said. Let's just say, Womu no womu mo ha ne san mo adwuma na ekọ san e na omdo mo chechire mu no mo adwen chire say de mo na.
And make a man acquisition. This is a man who sits as the head of a chamber who holds about 700,000 people's investment. 700,000 people's investment. Who says publicly that he was not consulted?
No, you see? I mean, what's the mechanic? He's not consulted. The acquire fast so say oba yen administrative lineup no your baby are for ye diko me municipal chief executive me was coordinating director
obu to me sorry amount change
yes me assistant directors me was HRs me was omo obi hanti me so preko pa say me ko MC ho ni na ko din komo
yes so the full process
and so the full process no but I think say the government did what he's supposed to do.
Okay.
And by so doing, you know, onipa no okasa because he's a victim, right? Or to say me no me. What can we say? That person hold about
700,000 people's investment.
Yes. Me am to ebi am dey 2 pe, ebi am go do 2. It no ye nyina ye victims.
But what you samuna or say the committee set up by the government met them.
In
and
October.
Say October 2022 catch almost say mo ha on saying but juma ekọ saying any de eka ka ho and omo ka ni nyina kire no and they promise say committee na government set up
and the number so much say aban tie de omo kan ye no
aban and catch almost say committee ne catch almost say the enkomo enu be di no enye amafunti and enu be di san komo no per what is written here no enye amafunti enu be di san komo no na mmom no ye be hwe mo juma ne ha no say de sitie na and akbran afie ko ye enya mafunti eko wi ase no aya mafunti Tofik ya bra so
Agya
yes sir
me dey masam ye very kit or onso kitwa bi the question I want to ask in there how did we get here
ya get here
how did we get here
you see the get that
and who are responsible for this thing for me so you know similar thing happened in I think Sri Lanka also and people were not allowed to go scot-free all individuals who were responsible in mismanaging the economy to this level no were dealt with. It just okay, banking sector cleanup. AC or Ghana. There were a lot of people in this country. Some of them were even asked to pay. Some are going through court processes, are going through prosecution. So what is going to happen to all individuals who led us into this ditch?
Where you get to that bridge?
We'll cross it.
I mean, Eja, we need to investigate. We need to investigate and then prosecute all people who are responsible. Heads must roll.
Head must roll now.
And you see, Eja, what even as I'm pouring there has to do with the attitude and the lifestyle of government. Eja, it doesn't reflect that we are broke and people are losing their. It doesn't reflect that at all.
Why are you saying that?
Oh, because that's why I said let's look at the lifestyle.
Is it because we still drive our car?
That's not what I'm saying.
Is it because I'm sleeping in my house?
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. Honorable,
because we saw the budget.
Honorable, don't take it to be personal.
I'm not taking it personal, but
I think you are getting emotional about it.
No.
But you see,
you know, said the personal. I won't do that.
Yeah, of course, because we are looking at the budget that you guys or your government presented to Parliament, and it's a share budget now. Was our co-parliament now on Chebi Biade Ghana yewo anwuhemu na young individual politicians one lifestyle eja no so on chede yewo anwuhemu they are going into primaries eja we will come back to this studio and we'll discuss it
I think that I want to emphasize that the program is voluntary,
yes.
Which means that yes.
And what program are you talking about?
The debt exchange program. It's voluntary, and it's important we emphasize that. Inti Sebi and we saw the Attorney General's legal opinion. Of course, the other side they say Ebi Albeko court and it will take a long time, and no one is sure of anything. But I want to emphasize that because it's voluntary, the stakeholders must dialogue.
Okay.
Because Jamaica, it only succeeded because people volunteered to take the exchange. Inti Abino in his disposition in having this conversation should not say it's a voluntary take-up.
And your share.
And yes. Any his disposition should encourage people to take up that.
Was say one of the so long as far as Kanoforata is the finance minister. No, there's no way to be a capre. A chatro on yet. Voluntary. Now, as someone and I can say, US, one of the states Republican, and 2020. No, yeah, Jumo baby. Baby, I know you must have bitcoins and crofon. No, say a fracadam, a says Atija. 2020, I know yeah, Jumo. And I says Atija 2022. Ye question the day say baby, I know you wanna hold your papa. And Tina say Azan for Muna Ufil now by Toy Azan. Into one wish and I say, and yes, and Kuma Crentino. Said I can't know. If one day will come, baby, you're doing, they will come that inquiry. Now can be now. Honorable St. Pierre signed the Bakubiaba. Or say, why are we following IMF deal just to get a loan of only $3 billion? After that, what next? After the loan and the IMF credibility certificate, the government will be enabled. Will the government be able to go for more loans? What will be the effect of more loans? The last asset valuation on Ghana, it shows that Ghana has a book value of only 80 billion assets and a total of 450 billion of liabilities. That's right. This simply means that Ghana is bankrupt because we have more liabilities than assets. The regulatory agencies are all government officials. The regulators do not own the fund, not even the fund managers. So meeting the regulators or fund managers without the fund owners was the worst route the minister adopted. Until I some more kind of no. And Tibadamasi.
Yes, last one in Fanco. Last one in Fanco. Mr. Damasi. But I did back home and say, now open your budget in the call and say, even though money more, you know, yeah, one day. And then, first speed to so. In fact, average age 25, 21, 23, 24. If you have mobile phones, sir, a kita or more, it be a 25,000 Ghana cedis.
Sir?
Yes, but up at 2,000, I call your business. So I say that in here. Or a Jacob, say Jacob, mammy 2,000. Busia. Now, me for your business. Meanwhile, knock that 25,000 mobile phone.
Maybe tell me, perhaps I'm going to 200 dB.
It is Jamaica Basin, and say, Yenina, if Obia or your Ghana, or your 30 or 35 million,
31.8 million
Ghana.
Okay.
Yenina, yen to 2 years normally. Now, yes, sir. Where are your commissions here? A year then I be few. It is said the FA Cokumasi. Oh, no chance I want. Ube careful. No for Popo.
Okay.
Who didn't Kaka? No, that would do Kumasi. Okay. In the above, you be careful.
Now, for me, about phone on your mind, Diabania to me, and no. Toffee, beside question, say, how did we get here?
The Diababia, so about your dear. After 4 years, 5 years, and there's so answer better.
Maybe a Diabani said, when they are for a Sudabia. Now, we have a video be actually once on your co-watching into your work. Aha. Now, I message back could be Waha. Honorable St. Pierre and Eddie or Misopa.
I'm going to crack the tea again.
And Obaba, next week, young point of Obaba. Also, the case of adolescent indiscipline is not new in Ghana. However, in recent times, both parents and teachers and the media have contributed towards the escalations.
That's all.
But the recent aggravated indiscipline is as a result of the negative political interference. We have lost all our social values because of our current foul and tragic political division. Nobody forced us to change our time-tested values. Nobody will arrest or punish us for going back to pick our values. Tietia, Sankofa Uwe, bonchi ne sam oka ni nyina nso fa bomu no na message bi obi so de buy o say your friend Kofi Clement o say Agya Kwabena I tell you okay mo me video ni wi
I say friend Kofi Clement
there be Kofi Clement ye mo video ni wi am say aba na fe dia Kofi Clement asomro kan no ye de asoro so honorable me pa che video ye baba isi ana ya be kasa
emu bebre na wo mo ne na nenam mpɔtamu ani nkronkura hodo so a kyerɛ sɛ aso mu ani wura emu bi te sɛ empɔnkye nkraman enwan ne anantwie ne emu adodo no a enti wo mo ne nam mpɔtamu a na afei wo mo sɛsɛ nyapade ebi kura mpo enam wo mo sa so ma nkwanhyi asɛm dodo no a etimi esi a empanifo hwɛ so metimi aka ho nsɛm nyinaa na enam saa ateti ya na emu adodo yi a wo mo wura no mu gya wo mo a wo mo san konkɔpɔ mo kyira kwan de ba begya nipa dodo no aso ɛwɔ mpɔtam ahodoɔ no amu nti no aya na bi wɔ hɔ no kura mpa wo bi hyɛ da ade ahomete kura mpo na efe wɔ de aku saa aboa no kura fi atasefo asase so saa emu yi a wo mo ha nipa dasani amasama community a ɛno no ɛwɔ Gan West municipality yenyi wo mo mfiri mu wo mo so ɛnam saa tete yi mu yɛ bi nti anam so amande aposifo a wɔnom ɛwɔ Gan West municipality a ɛno ɛyɛ amasama community ni mu wo mo akɔ operation ne operation de hyɛ so no na nya agro wo mo akɔkyekyɛ mu a yɛgya wo mo ne na nambasa basa ni nyinaa ɛno mo de wo mo akɔpie mu ɛwɔ assembly hɔ no mu na wo kokoduru hɔ no na assembly no ɛbɔ dawuro dodo no ade kɔɔyɛ ɛde ma ɛmoa yi wo mu wura no sɛ wo a wo de ewu mura na bra bɛfa ɛne ebi mu baa na wo ma bɛfa wo mo de ne nso so wo mo a wo twɛn ya wo ma ma bɛfa wo mo de ne ne donko mi de enye bi nie wo mo bɔ donko mi papa ama kyerɛ sɛ empɛso ano so ɛma ɛwɔ hɔ no wo ma tɔn ɛde ama mo a chief executive officer wo no ɛwɔ Gan West municipal assembly hɔ onimonyamfo ni Lante Wilkinson ɛne yɛn twetwe nkɔmɔ ɛfa ensɛm no ho
mo a motɔ onwa ne nyina no sɛ wo gya no na ɔkɔnante abɔnten a saa ne yɛbɛsa akye no ne yɛasan option no first one no ne din di Emmanuel option yɛnya 350 second one yɛfɛ ne John ne dia no so yɛnya sɛ 195 Joseph yɛfɛ ne Joseph yɛnya 195 third one yɛfɛ ne John ɔno yɛnya 60 Ghana ɛna Andrew so yɛno so yɛnya 60 Ghana enti yɛbɛsrɛ mu nyinaa ade yɛnyɛ krono bi ne yɛbɔ obi yɛyɛ ade kronkron a yɛpɛ sɛ awiasa fa na nyinaa ehu sɛ
me production team say me kan just so ma o afisiapa
Africa
papa na Emmanuel and Joseph and no massive for no say some that so adwana so ma ja
Christmas ya be almost ya kakra anu so ya tutu omo din say ade ya ni din de ya nto omo nya ade aponchi but ya so tuni din ni ya to but Jacob we say for uko UK ya omo was says for this ye chimwa no a omo was says ye dom ko prison ebu a 6 years no mo abo ni timi nyia no yes uko UK ya wo ho ye dom ko says na procedure ni say sabo bi ha wo fi a o de ko police for amade a police for no enam say Ghana omo ni says nti no omo ba be catch environmental department na wo ye ho no no mo akoko chi abo no yen ye wo bi e fa ne pond ah ya bote say dwambuo ye dwambuo pond no ye ba na ye dwam egu ho ye be more 6 days uba no am be fa wa pond chi a ana say uba na ebo na because uba sa pond chi na 2500 uba ton uba ma 800 in this one timi amfa no so dey a ye better so 500 no your percentage ye dey see nti say no na mama sama in fact sa de ne kakan ne ye no e ma mponchi nya omo hwe omo yie mponchi mpo hwe omo yie
na je nipa me da si bebre na ewura ba bi di ne birthday ne Sheila Broja yo amasama koko bodo ho na wo e say na e wa wodanti happy birthday na Kofi Clement say Agya Kwabena I tell you who can snow ne dust asem no and Kofi Clement di we but say Agya Kwabena tell you if it was snowy here like snowy here like Yano will be shitting in it I know Africa hey asembe nkurani Clement me da say ya me da say
mama nkama honorable Nejuma na oye no onfa nkra na omo stress ade o kwan so enka ho because enu hu ya me omo patch omo yes ni important one omo stress ade omo nam kwan ho ye che mo ade but yem protecting crown
yem protect woman
as much as
and no na me share kwasa child rights international for be ye na yetumi e de aboa Tofik me da ase yes sorry so
na the whole Ghana na me to boot ni ento ade o ana won sha ni
binimpa
eyamba o
yes sorry so say bakopa na America na yetietia me share brother ma okumasi ansa ɛna afei kojo banzuba mu nyina mu kuma se me nkyia mansa de ameka ne sɛ hwɛ yɛtwe mu tan Ghana yɛ dia Ghana nya nkurankura bi dia Ghana fo nyina dia Ghana ne ekuo bi dia etisie yɛ bibia yanwene Ghana ho enye ekuo ana nkurankura bi ɛsɛ anhwɛ yi a ɛbɛkɔdi ekuo bi hɔ ɛbɛdi nkurankura bi hɔ na ebere bi bɛsɔre a Ghana fo no bɛsɔre na sɛ mo sɔre nso a yɛhu bibia enye yi yakramo ɛma mo nyina